live in the 8th of February 2025. And this morning, we're going back again to our discussion on the good news and the prosperity ORILEEDE by Professor AdeBanji Akintoye. That is what we're going to be looking at this morning on a Saturday as we continue our campaign and also as we continue our quest to the right to self-determination. Please share the program and invite others to come and learn and study this particular document that we have been looking at for the last 1 year. The good news, Path to Prosperity in our ORILEEDE Yoruba by Professor AdeBanji Akintoye. But before we go, let us quickly, say good morning to those of you in Africa, good morning to those of you in Europe, good morning to you around the globe, and Feyinti Etiwani Oson in Australia, or wherever you are around the globe, I say good morning as well. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, popularly known as Koikimedia on the social media, and also one of the campaigners of the Yoruba self-determination movement. If you have ever crossed across the video, please remind others that we are doing this so that we can be free from the shackles and the bondage of the 1914 amalgamation that was put together by Britain so that it can be of benefit to them. Nigeria is a failed state, according to many analysts around the world. Nigeria cannot be restructured, neither can Nigeria be great again. So if you're still one of those in doubt that the Yorubas, the indigenous people, the Biafra, the indigenous people, the Hausa, the indigenous people, the Middle Belt, the indigenous people should go their separate ways, it is important to look into it and ask serious, deep questions whether Nigeria is still viable to hold. Today is Saturday, and as we continue our campaign from Africa before we return back to Europe, where I am currently based, I would like to extend my greetings to the leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, Professor AdeBanji Akintoye. Professor Akintoye continued to tell us to continue with our campaign and continue the goodwill to remind many Yoruba people that the only way we can be successful is to come out of Nigeria, and that is why we are saying to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to divide Nigeria now so that every indigenous people can go back and rebuild a country of their own choice. And it is not necessary that we have people living with us. If they are not going to respect our land, our territory, it is very important that we tell them to get the hell out of our territory. Just like Donald Trump is telling those that do not believe in America dream to get the hell out before he kicks them out. I'll be telling you, or probably showing you, how Donald Trump mentioned that if you do not want to be part of the American dream, you have every right to get the hell out before he kicks you out. And this is how Donald Trump said so in one of the videos that we had that was sent to us by one of our listeners that says we should watch this and maybe it could be of benefit to us. Bear with us as we prepare that video. This is Donald Trump telling you to get the hell out.
In the U.S., you're complaining all the time. Happy. In the U.S., you're complaining all the time. Very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
All right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Well,
but if you're not happy in the U.S., you're complaining all the time. Very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
all right.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too.
If you're not happy, let's pick it up from here because we're struggling with the image from there, but I'm going to show you from this side. This is what Donald Trump said about those of you that are not happy in America, you can leave. It is not compulsory that we have many people on the Yoruba territory. If the Yoruba territory is inconvenient to you, you have every right to leave. Donald Trump said.
Back if you want, don't come back, it's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave. But if you're not happy in the US, if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want, don't come back, it's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave. But if you're not happy in the US, if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want, don't come back, it's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave. But if you're not happy in the US, if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want, don't come back, it's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave. But if you're not happy in the US, if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Right?
Come back if you want, don't come back, it's okay too.
So, fanfani tí ẹ̀gbọ́n tí Donald Trump sọ, ó ní tí ẹ bá wà happy, tí ẹ dẹ̀ wà satisfied, ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ wà nínú America, get the hell out of America. Kò ń ṣe dandan. It is not by force to be in America. And the same thing goes with those that continue to disrespect the Yoruba territory. It is not by force. You are not forced to live in Yoruba land. If the Yoruba land that we are calling for to return back to the indigenous people, if you are not happy with it, get the hell out. And that is the message this morning as we continue our campaign. It's coming up to almost 10:23 a.m. in Africa, and it's exactly 1 hour behind in Europe. And I welcome each and every one of you. I won't be mentioning names for now because of my time constraint, but we would appreciate each and every one of you as the programs goes into before the final stage. Let's kickstart as we go like this.
There's no language called Nigerian. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not Nigerian. Okay, where is Nigeria? Where is the land called Nigeria? What is the Nigerian language? We are nations that had been forced together to live in one pathetic country. So anybody who goes there today to say, pray for Nigeria, that person is just deceiving himself, because the people who want to be that Nigeria are not sat down to agree if they want to be Nigeria.
Let me put this out clearly again, especially our ọmọ Yorùbá kankan tí olóyè bá ti jáde tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ máa wá Koikimedia, tẹ́ máa wá mi káàkiri pé kí n bá yín bá olóyè sọ̀rọ̀, kí n sọ fún olóyè ọmọlúàbí ni wá, kò dá láti máa bú àgbàlagbà, kò ní dá fáwọn àgbàlagbà, wọn ní ṣoríire, ogun máa pa gbogbo wọn ni. Ogun máa pa gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà lórí burúkú tí wọ́n ní ṣoríire, tí ọmọ wọn wà lẹ́yìn odi, tí wọ́n lè jáde kó sọ fún Tinubu pé kí ni olóyè Ìgbòho ṣe. Ẹ wò mí dáadáa, a ní ọ̀rẹ́ kankan láàrin wa o, enemies ló pọ̀ láàrin wa. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ ń prepare pé ẹ máa mú olóyè àtèmi, ẹ máa lọ múra dáadáa, ẹ̀yin bomb bastard. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè Koiki olóyè fídíò tó ṣe yẹn ó ti pọ̀ jù, kò dá láti bá àwọn àgbà, kò ní dá fún gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà yẹn, wọn ní ṣoríire. Gbogbo àwọn àgbàlagbà yẹn ò ní ṣoríire, ogun máa pa gbogbo wọn ni. Bomb bastard. Ṣé gbọ́ wá dáadáa? Èmi ló ń pè ní Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, agbẹnusọ fún olóyè. Gbogbo tó lóyè bá ti ṣe pátá ni mo fara mọ́. Dẹ̀nà yìí dẹ̀ ń sọ fún wa pé ẹ sọ fún olóyè kó yé máa sọ̀rọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu. Ṣé ìwọ lè dá jáde? Bí wọ́n ṣe mú Nnamdi Kanu yẹn ṣé nǹkan tó dáa ni? Pé bí Nnamdi Kanu ṣe ń ṣe ó yàtọ̀ sí bí àwa ṣe ń ṣe. Báwo ni Nnamdi Kanu ṣe ń ṣe? Bẹ́yìn ò ṣe ṣe. Báwo ni Nnamdi Kanu ṣe ń ṣe tẹ́yìn ò ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀? Ṣé bí wọ́n ṣe mú Nnamdi Kanu tó lóyè ń sọ pé kó fi sílẹ̀ ó ti pọ̀ jù? It take time. Ẹni tí ó bá mọ̀ pé òun lẹ́pọ̀n, òun lè ṣe tó lóyè ṣe, ẹ̀yin náà ẹ jáde náà. Ẹ jáde. For 3 years, ǹjẹ́ yìí béèrè bí olóyè àtàwọn family ẹ̀ ṣe survive? For 3 good years tí wọ́n ti olóyè síta, gbogbo business ẹ̀ ti crumble. Ṣèbí mo gbọ́ tí ìyá mi Lady K tó ń sọ pé kí ló dé tí Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ táwọn ọ̀gbẹ́ àwọn ọba kọ́ lọ béèrè lọ́wọ́ Tinubu pé kí ni olóyè Ìgbòho ṣe? Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo lolóyè ṣe tí wọ́n fi tì síta tó fi dẹni tó wà níta tí gbogbo business ẹ̀ collapse, wọ́n ti gbogbo account tó ní. The smallest owó tó wà nínú account kan nú is about almost 120 million. Ìbẹ́yìn wà nínú ilé yín tẹ́ ń ṣe business, ìbẹ́yìn wà nínú ilé yín tẹ́ ń lọ Nàìjíríà, tẹ́ ń dé tẹ́ ń bọ̀. Tí olóyè lè pagìrì wọ Nàìjíríà. So it take time. Àgbàlagbà nìyí, ọmọdé nìyí, we don't give a toss. Mo ti sọ fún yín pé nínú movement yìí kò sí ojú àánú kankan fáwọn àgbàlagbà lórí burúkú tọ́ọ̀bà mọ́ the needful láti ṣe fún wa. Ṣé má caution wa pé èyí tó lóye sọ ti pọ̀jù? Kí ló pọ̀jù tó sọ? Ṣó parọ́ mọ́ wọn ni? Ṣó parọ́ mọ́ bàbá Bọ́sànjọ́? Àbó parọ́ mọ́ Bísí Àkàndé? Àbó parọ́ mọ́ àwọn àgbàlagbà òfò, àwọn àgbàlagbà tó ní ṣoríire tí à ń jẹ gbogbo wa? So kẹwàá very very careful. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè mí, tẹ́ ń send message sí mi, kó lóye withdraw statement tó sọ yẹn. Ẹ máa ká bú yín o. Tẹ́ ẹ̀ bá ní kan tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ sínú movement yìí, kẹ́ dákẹ́. Torí pé Gani Adams wà bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìn tọ́ọ̀ṣì kankan. So tó bá sì jẹ́ pé olóyè la ṣì ń rí lọ́nkán, gbogbo tó bá ṣe pátá lèmi fọwọ́ sí. Gbogbo tó bá ṣe. Ibi tó bá dẹ̀ lọ ni mò ń tẹ̀lé lọ. Tó bá náà ń bọ̀ Nàìjíríà, jọmọdé Nàìjíríà ni. Tó bá sọ pé jọ́ tó ń bọ̀ Nàìjíríà, èmi àti ẹjọmọdé Nàìjíríà ni. Mo sọ fún yín pé tẹ́rù bá bá ẹ̀yin, ẹ má fi ẹ̀rù olórí burúkú yín, ẹ má fi kó bá wa, ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀. Kásìkò bá tó, fùrọ̀ máa là, ìgbẹ́ máa jáde níbẹ̀. Bóyá wa la nílẹ̀ ni, bóyá Fúlàní ló nílẹ̀ ni, kásìkò yẹn bá tó, gbogbo wa máa mọ̀. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ lọ dira dáadáa. Ẹni máa kú ó pàdé ẹni tó fi pa òun lọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. Káwọn àgbàlagbà yẹn ò bá tètè pé Tinubu ó divide Nàìjíríà. Ṣé má pè wá ṣàkíyèsí kankan pé n tó lóye ń sọ ó ti pọ̀jù ẹnu ẹ lọ. 3 good years Fúlàní wọlé wọ́n pa èèyàn méjì sínú ilé ẹ̀. Níbo lòkú yẹn wà? Níbo lòkú Àdògán wà? Níbo lòkú Alhaji Fatai wà? Ǹjẹ́ yìí bi Tinubu pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n release òkú tọ́ba lè ṣe àkáǹtì olóyè? Olówó wa lẹ́yìn odi, ẹ̀yin lọ́lé, ẹ̀yin lọ́ ṣe business, ẹni project ẹ̀ ń lọ sílé tẹ̀ lọ́ ṣe. Ẹ mọ̀ bẹ́ ṣe monitor gbogbo business yín. Ẹ wá náà ti sọ̀rọ̀ jù. Kémi bá olóyè sọ̀rọ̀, mò ń bọ̀ wá bá yín bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ sì máa plane, ẹ máa wá bá mi ní Kútọ́nù láti lọ sọ fún olóyè ní Germany. Ẹ sì máa ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì fún mi lọ sí Germany lọ bá olóyè. Germany láti máa lọ bá olóyè la máa sọ fún pé kó shut up, kó yé sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́. Ẹ bá fi kẹlẹ̀bẹ̀ kẹ́ fi dì lẹ́nu kó má sọ̀rọ̀ ni. Ṣé ara ò tẹ̀yìn? Wicked people. Ara òfin yìí ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọlúàbí. Kí ní kàn wá pẹ̀lú ọmọlúàbí lọ́wọ́ nǹkan tá gbé dání? Kí ló kọ ọmọlúàbí? Àwa ti jọ ọmọlúàbí. Ìṣẹ́ ìgbẹ́ kan àti dùnú tá bá débi tá à ń lọ, a lọ máa ṣe orientation, a lọ máa mú ọmọlúàbí. For now ọmọlúàbí àti sọnù. Wicked people. Fúlàní wọlé, wọ́n destroy gbogbo businesses ẹ̀. Kò rí business kankan ṣe láti over 3 years. Ẹ sọ pé n tó ń sọ ti pọ̀ jù. Ẹ wà very careful. Tó bá jẹ́ pé owó tẹ̀ ń fún wa, tẹ́ ń fẹ́ mi, ẹ fowó ṣe sàárà síbòmí, ẹ fowó ṣe sàárà síbòmí, àwọn tó máa support wa. So let us be very very careful. Ọ̀rọ̀ olóyè ń ṣe tí mo fi ń ṣeré rárá. I am the closest to him. Gbogbo tó bá ṣe pátá ni mo fọwọ́ sí, gbogbo tó bá ti sọ pátá ni mo fọwọ́ sí. Táwọn àgbàlagbà bá mú tó ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe, àwọn máa sọ kò rọ̀ sí gbogbo wọn ọ̀n tí tó máa fi mú tó ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe. Fúlàní wọlé wọ́n ń dó àgbàlagbà tó ti wọ monopause nínú gbó, wọ́n ń dó wọn. Olóyè stop ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ náà. After 3 years tó kúrò nílé, wọ́n sì ń pa àwọn èèyàn, wọ́n ń jíyàn gbé, ẹ̀rí nǹkan kan ṣe sí. Tó bá dẹ̀ náà òun ní àyà, ta ló dìyẹn mú tẹ́lẹ̀ tó lóye stop anybody ni? Torí mo gbọ́ tẹ́yìn kan tẹ́yìn tó jí oríṣiríṣi sílẹ̀, ta ló dìyẹn mú? Olóyè ní kíyàn kankan má jáde ni. Ẹ jáde kẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe náà. Àwa tá à ń tẹ̀lé olóyè àti bàbá Akíntóyè, a máa tẹ̀lé wọn lọ. Ẹ̀yin ọ̀lẹ ọmọ Yorùbá náà nìkan lẹ máa lẹ̀ dí mọ́tẹ́ fẹ́ bá jà. Fúlàní wà ń bẹ̀ lọ bá Fúlàní jà. Ẹ̀yin bomb bastard. Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ yín lẹ fẹ́ bá jà. Fúlàní wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn lójoojúmọ́, ẹ wọnú igbó kẹ́ bá Fúlàní jà, kẹ́ pa Fúlàní. Àfi kẹ́ máa lẹ̀ dí mọ́ Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ yín. Yorùbá nìkan lè lẹ̀ dí mọ́. Bẹ́ ṣe máa ṣògùn tẹ́ máa ṣèkà fún wa, òun lẹ̀ ń wá gbogbo yín báyìí pátá. Gbogbo àwọn àdúrà oríṣiríṣi tó ń jáde pé ká wà kíáfò, olórí burúkú àwọn ọkùnrin ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú. Ẹ fẹ́ dẹ trap fún wa, àbí ẹ fẹ́ dẹ trap fún olóyè Ìgbòho. Ẹ túbọ̀ máa dẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ò kúrò níbi tó wà. Ọlọ́run ò kúrò níbi tó wà. Gbogbo yín pátá ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn olóṣèlú, àbí ẹ wà láàárín wa. Ẹ fẹ́ mọ ibi tó rìn sí, níbo ló lóyè fẹ́ rìn sí, níbo ló fẹ́ tọ̀ sí, níbo ni Kóìkì fẹ́ rìn sí ló fẹ́ tọ̀ sí, àbí ìyẹn lẹ́ ń wá káàkiri. Ẹnu ẹni gbogbo àjọ wà. Mo ní ẹni tó fẹ́ kú ó pàdé ẹni tó fẹ́ pa òun lọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. Idiot all over the place. Ìyà ń jẹ olóyè ni. Ṣé Fúlàní lè dá olóyè mú? Ṣé tí olóyè bá ń dárìn Fúlàní lè dá mú? À ń bọ̀sibọ̀sí. Ó ní kóun gbà wá sílẹ̀ ká lè tú kúrò nínú ìdí táwọn olórí burúkú British lọ kó wa sínú ẹ̀. British náà nìyẹn nísìn. Visa mélòó ló ń fún anybody ní Nàìjíríà nísìn? Àwọn olórí burúkú. Ṣé àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n ní visa tó fi ń káàkiri? Àwọn olóṣèlú olórí burúkú, àwọn bomb bastard tó múran Yorùbá tó sórí ẹ̀kodò. So ẹ wà very careful o. Ní àwọn kan máa pè mí tẹ́ bá ti gbọ́ dí omi kẹ̀kẹ́ dìmú kẹ́jẹ́ tọ́rọ bàbá kó bá yín níbikíbi tẹ́ bá wà. Don't give a toss. Èmi polóyè. Ẹ̀yin jẹ́ kó lóyè sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Nnamdi Kanu. Ẹ̀yin ìkà, wicked people. Ṣé Nnamdi Kanu kìí ṣe èèyàn? Ṣé ẹranko ni Nnamdi Kanu? Ṣé ẹranko ni Nnamdi Kanu tó lóyè sọ pé kó fi sílẹ̀? Kí ló ṣe? Terrorists ń gbé AK-47, wọ́n ń gbé AK-49, wọ́n ń gbé RPG, wọ́n ń invade military barracks, wọ́n ń pa àwọn èèyàn. Idiot all over the place. Mo ń bọ̀ bàbá yín bá lóyè sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ máa ra plane ticket fún mi tí máa fi lọ sí Germany tí máa lọ fi bá lóyè sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ sì máa ra ticket fún mi. Mo ń lò tẹ́ fún wa tẹ́ máa sọ fún wa pé kí n polóyè, kémi bọ́ lóyè sọ̀rọ̀. Kémi bọ́ lóyè sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ń bọ̀ bàbá yín bá sọ̀rọ̀. Olóyè máa tẹ̀síwájú. Mo sọ fún ẹ pé ibi tó bá ń lọ ni mò ń tẹ̀lé ẹ lọ. Kó wa wọnú ìgbè mò ń tẹ̀lé ẹ lọ. Torí mo ò tí rẹni tó ní àyà tó tó ẹ. Wọ́n ní àyà wọ́n káyà wọn sábẹ́ ìyàwó wọn, wọ́n ń dó ìyàwó wọn sínú ilé. Ó gbé àyà síta. Ó ní yà ń jẹ ẹ̀ràn òun. Ẹ jẹ́ ká yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kó má bàa di wàhálà. Ẹ̀yin kó yàwó tí yín sínú ilé ń dó mọ́nú ilé. Ẹ kó àwọn ọmọ yín sábẹ́. Kò sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ kú àbí. Olóyè ni kó kú fún wa. Ṣé òun ló jẹ gbèsè? Kò níyàwó kò lọ́mọ. Òun nìkan lọ́mọ Yorùbá. Láwọn ọmọ Yorùbá mi. Ìbà Gani Adams ò sì jáde kó máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ṣèbí Ìbà Gani Adams ní Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ fún wa. Wọ́n sì ń dúró kí bí Aláàfin tó fẹ́ máa wọlé ní ìṣèlú máa pàṣẹ fún Ìbà Gani Adams. Bí àwọn sì ń dúró fún Aláàfin tó máa ṣe ìwọlé ní April 6 kọ́ lọ́n jẹ́ kí bàbá dé dáadáa kó dé bá wa. Wicked Yorùbá people. Ẹ túbọ̀ máa dẹ trap fúnra yín. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń gbé ọwọ́ kọ́wọ́ lórí olóyè Ìgbòho, ikú gbóná máa pa yín ni. Tírélà Fúlàní ló máa pa yín. Ẹ̀yin olùlòṣó lórí burúkú. Peanut ẹ fẹ́ gbà. Ẹ tí wọ́n tuntun fún yín ní peanut. Mo kí yín bàbá má sunkún mọ́. Ẹ̀yin ìyá wa ẹ túbọ̀ wọnú àdúrà dáadáa. Àṣírí gbogbo yín kò ní bò láyé ẹni ṣoríire. Ẹni máa kú ó pàdé ẹni máa pa òun lọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣe káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
pọ̀wọ́pọ̀ kájọ ṣe. Iṣẹ́ yìí kò sí Nàìjíríà mọ́ o. Nàìjíríà ó ti kú tipẹ́tipẹ́. Láti 2014 àti tó gbé. 2014 láti pé 100 years. Yorùbá ní ìṣòro àti tó lọ. Ẹ wo gbogbo tẹ̀lé Yorùbá ò sí. Bámi náà wọ́n lẹ́gbàá. Ó bá jẹ́ president ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Tẹ̀lé Yorùbá ò sí. Bámi náà wọ́n lẹ́gbàá. Ó bá jábọ̀ sílẹ̀ lónìí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò sí. Bámi náà wọ́n lẹ́gbàá. Ó bá jáwọ́ ẹlẹ́ṣà. Bámi náà wọ́n lẹ́gbàá. Ó bá jẹ́ jáwọ́ lọ́dọ̀ọ́sọ. Tó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní sinmi tó náà ní pín.
Lórí burúkú dọ́gbìn. Ẹ máa kókó ògùn ni, ògùn máa pa gbogbo dànù. Ara máa pa gbogbo yín ni ẹ̀mí ṣoríire. Ó já àwọn councillors. Ó bá já àwọn ọba náà ni. Pátápátá, àyájú sábà, àdìkẹ̀ mọ́ ọba, àmọ́ ṣá. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá gbàbọ̀dẹ̀ fún wa. O bàbá. Ní gbogbo ìdílé wọn pátápátá. Kó pa àwọn ọmọ wọn náà. Èyí ṣe rere. Àwa Fúlàní mọ́. Wọ́n ń dó wa láyà. Wọ́n kọ́ ara wọn. Apariwo. A ní àfẹ́ Fúlàní lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Kò ní wá lára. Oúnjẹ ti dọ̀wọ́ gbogbo. Àwọn gbogbo ẹ̀ kò. Wọ́n máa lọ. Ẹ̀fún wa. Wọ́n ń dó wa láyà o. Wọ́n pa wá lọ́mọ o. Gbogbo èrò kó pátápátá. Àwọn lórí burúkú. Alex, ẹni kọ́ máa lọ. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Ẹ bá pín ètò, ẹ bá gbọ́ wọlé share button. Àṣẹ ń bọ̀ náà ti dé. Yorùbá pátá nítorí kan ló ń pé ìwọ̀n nínú wa lójú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gá lóró Yorùbá lè ṣọ̀mọ̀ sáyẹn. Nínú gbogbo sọ pé ìwọ̀n nínú wa lójú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gá lóró Yorùbá lè ṣọ̀mọ̀ sáyẹn. Yorùbá pátá apáta nínú gbogbo sọ pé ìwọ̀n nínú wa lójú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gá lóró Yorùbá lè ṣọ̀mọ̀ sáyẹn. Lẹ́gbẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan sọ pé ìwọ̀n nínú wa lójú ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀gá lóró Yorùbá lè ṣọ̀mọ̀ sáyẹn. Ẹ bá mi gbọ́ lé ṣẹ́bọ̀ tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹ̀ka ọ̀rọ̀ nínú kí ni tẹ bá wà. Báwo lọ̀dọ̀ ń lọ́hùn? Mo kí ẹ sísítà mi Arẹwà kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ láéláé. Mo kí Ọlákúnlé, mo kí àwa Bùsọ́lá Ọládélé, mo kí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí Mr. Ọlárẹ̀wájú Táíwò, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa. Mo kí Tíò Jésè Ṣógbùyì, bàbá dáadáa. Bí ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ ni bàbá yìí, a kò máa ń jowó sí àkáǹtì ni. Ẹ ṣé gan ni kò ní tán níbẹ̀ láíláí. Gbogbo èyí tẹ̀ ń ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Owó láptọ̀pù wa ti pé wọ́n máa lọ rà á ní èní. Tá a bá ṣì rí sí, a ṣì ń gba donation. Mo kí ẹ Bishop Adésínà, òun ló wá wò mí ní Benin Republic pé òun gbọ́ pé mo dé kájọ dọ́dọ̀ bàbá, mo máa dé ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí lágbára Ọlọ́run láti lọ yọjú sí bàbá. Mo kí àwa Glory, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí darapọ̀. Akim, mo kí ẹ bá mi bá wọlé share button ká tó wọnú ètò lọ. Tó bá fẹ́ ká máa porúkọ bàbá tiẹ̀ náà lọ ṣe nítorí bá ti ṣe. Lọ ṣe ×3 nítorí bá ṣe. Ẹ máa fi voice note sílẹ̀. Voice note yẹn ọ̀ràn kò rán anything, kò rán Tinubu tó yé wa yẹn. Voice note tẹ́ ẹ̀ fi sílẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ̀yẹ máa fi dẹ́rù bá ọmọ Yorùbá. ẹ lọ dẹ́rùbà Fúlàní. Ìgbòho dẹ́rùbà Fúlàní ni ó sọ fún Sẹ́ríkí pé ọjọ́ méje mo fún ẹ tó bá bíbà bẹ́ẹ̀ dájẹ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ní bíbà. Èmi tẹ̀lé dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ní January 21, 2021 àjọ dé ìkọ̀gàn ni n tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ àfi mo fẹ́ rí mo wálé láti sọ fún pé kò ń ṣe pé máa jókòó sí London. Kí ni mo ṣe London? 25 years ni mo ti gbé ní London. In tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ mo fẹ́ witness ẹ̀ torí àwọn bàbá ó lọ́wọ́ witness ìgbà tó fi gba independent kò ṣe wọn ní pàtàn Yorùbá nation bá ṣe máa gbà fún mi. Àjọ máa wà ní war front ni àdúrà ní kẹ́yìn máa ṣe fún ìyá wa. Mo gbé mú kí ẹlẹ́ǹkan sí Òṣùpá gbóhùn sókè. Mo kí àtó bí mi lọ́mọ ó ní gbogbo gbàkígbà tí bá ti ní ó ti yá eye tí bá fi ná ní ti ticket kí n má béèrè lórí social media. Ó ní kò bá jẹ́ 10,000 pounds ni mo fẹ́ ná òun á fún mi lówó yẹn kí n fi máa tẹ̀síwájú. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ pé gbogbo gbàkígbà tí Ọlọ́run bá ṣì ń jẹ́ kó wà láyé fún mi k'Ọlọ́run fún lẹ́mìí gígùn àtàlàáfíà. Ìyá tó dúró dáadáa ni mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ìyá dáadáa. Èmi ni ọkọ ìyá Oòduà. Mo ní mi ni last man standing. Ẹ fọkàn yín balẹ̀ lórí social media yìí àmú tó ní tán lẹ̀. Mo sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣeré rárá. Tó bá ń bẹ̀rù kúrò lórí platform kẹ lọ dúró sábẹ́ ìyàwó yín kẹ máa bá sùn. Ọkùnrin gidi là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn. Ọkùnrin tó dúró ṣán. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń dẹ́rù bara yín tẹ́ ń sọ pé Ìgbòho ò dé anybody mú. Tó bá ní o ní àyà lọ fún Fúlàní ní gbogbo àdúgbò ẹ lọ fún wọn ní 7 days ultimatum kó ṣe fídíò kábẹ́ gbé sórí social media one bastard àfi kẹ́ máa release audio ẹ tẹ̀lé Ìgbòho ta ló ní kẹ́ tẹ̀lé tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú ta ló mọ pọ̀rí bá bá ńlá yín ta ló mọ pọ̀rí bá bá ńlá yín èèyàn máa lè tẹ́ pé inú yàrá ìyàwó yín tẹ́tí ń bá ìyàwó yín sùn lẹ́tí ń ṣe audio tẹ́ẹ̀lì jáde sójú títí kẹsọ fún Fúlàní pé ẹ fún ní 7 days ẹni tó bá bí dánú yín kó jáde kó níbi bí tẹ́ bá wà nínú àbà tẹ́ bá wà kẹsọ fún wọn pé ẹ fún wọn ní 7 days kó kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Ìgbòho tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Fúlàní sọ pé kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ láti wá ṣe ó ní òun bọ̀ jẹ́ ń bẹ́ẹ̀ ní bíbáyìí ní 7 days. Wọ́n sọ fún Sẹ́ríkí pé tí Ìgbòho bá bẹ́ẹ̀ ní bíbáyìí ikú pa àwọn tó ní bàbá ẹ̀. Mo tẹ̀lé débẹ̀ ni kò ṣe pé wọ́n sọ story yẹn fún mi. Ìwọ̀n bá ní kẹ́ ṣe gbogbo ọ̀tẹ̀ tẹ́ ń dè sílẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá àwọn tọ́lọ̀ fún ní ìmọ̀ wọ́n ti sọ fún wa pé Koiki wọ́n ti ń dẹ trap o careful wọ́n ti ń dẹ trap. Aláàfin sàn yẹn fà wá tẹ́lẹ̀ Aláàfin ni wọ́n ní rí yín mú bọ̀tẹ̀ yín mẹ́rin wà stupid. Ikú bàbá yìí ló sọ fún mi àti Ìgbòho bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní wọ́n á máa gbìyànjú láti mú yín wọ́n ní rí yín mú bọ́ bá dẹ̀ mú wa ikú pa gbogbo yín wàláì tó a rí wa mú ikú pa gbogbo yín torí àwọn tó burú jù èmi lọ wà lórí social media tó wà nínú Yorùbá á dè wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ni á dè wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ à ń plead pẹ̀lú wọn lójoojúmọ́ ni wọ́n rẹ́dì wọ́n jó mẹ́fà lọ á bá nǹkan jẹ́ gidi wọ́n á bá nǹkan jẹ́ ní kíákíá nísìn ẹ̀ ṣe èrè wọ́n á bá nǹkan jẹ́ kò à ní ìdí yẹn torí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni à ní láti pa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá jẹ́ Fúlàní la fẹ́ lé lọ Ìgbò tó bá ṣe séfèsèfé ká lé dànù àwọn tó ò bá ní respect ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ká lé wọn dànù. Donald Trump náà sọ ó ní if you don't like America get the hell out of America. Kò ń ṣe dandan ló láti wà lamẹ́ríkà náà kò ń ṣe dandan kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn lọ fẹ́ lamẹ́ríkà. Wọ́n fẹ́ àwọn Yorùbá tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó ní jalè tó ní bí fọ́dọ̀ òun lélẹ̀ tó ń sọ if you are not happy in the US you are complaining all the time. Very simple. Only live right now.
Come back if you want.
Come back if you want.
It's okay too.
If you don't come back, it's okay.
If you're not happy, you can leave.
If you're not happy, you can leave. Má fi tiẹ̀ ní àwọn America lára. America is open for everybody. Má wàá fi ní wọn lára. Ẹ ń filẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ fi ní wá lára lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Ẹ tún máa ní ká shut up. Don't bastard. Ẹ bá lè ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe ẹ lọ ṣe náà. Ẹ má dúró de Ìgbòho náà. Ìgbòho òkúkú gba ọ́dà lọ́wọ́ anybody nígbà tó lọ fún Sẹ́ríkí ní 7 days. So ẹ nídìí ọ́dà lọ́wọ́ Ìgbòho ẹ dúró ọ́dà lọ́dọ̀ bàbá Akintoye àwa ta nídìí ọ́dà látọ̀dọ̀ wọn à dúró nígbà tásìkò bá tó. Gbóhùn sókè máa ní láti tan fáànù ẹ má bínú orí yìí fi ṣe mí léṣe. Sunday Igboho. Yorùbá. Akọ́nilẹ̀ gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Akọ́nilẹ̀ gbogbo. Mo kí bàbá mi Tèmídayọ̀ Dennis Omitogo, mo kí bàbá mi ìyá mi Stella Ṣódẹ́yìndé, mo kí ẹ̀yin silent listener, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Ẹ gbóhùn sókè, ẹ bá mi gbọ́ wọlé share button. Ìntẹ́yìn lè ṣe fún wa nìyẹn, kò dákẹ́ wọnú program, kẹ má thumbs up. Èyí tá a kan bá wò lẹ́yìn tó ń ṣe àwọn tiwantiwa, a máa ń click thumbs up, a máa ń like, máa ń share. Ẹ bá wa pín ètò yìí, mo kí bàbá mi Matthew Afọláyan, mo kí bàbá mi Proserity Kazeem. Tí bá ti kí ta ti gbọ́ gbogbo eléyìí, àwa wọnú ètò. Ẹ má bínú tí ariwo kìíní ẹ bá pọ̀ díẹ̀, heat yẹn pọ̀ díẹ̀ ni, àfi tẹ́ bá ra air condition fún mi. For now, mo ń gbádùn Áfíríkà, gbogbo ni pé màá lọ bá àwọn ọmọ Oòduà nílé padà. Gbóhùn sókè. Wọ́n náà kan ti gbowó, àwọn tí Ọlọ́run fún níran, wọ́n ti sọ fún mi. Wọ́n ní Koiki, à ń fi àdúrà tẹ̀yìn, bọ̀ àwọn kan ti gbowó. Wọ́n ti gbowó, wọ́n máa fẹ́ mú yín mọ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ bẹ́ ṣe fẹ́ rìn. Wọ́n fẹ́ mú yín mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ ti gbowó àbí? Ẹ wá fẹ́ fi mú Ìgbòho mọ́lẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ní fún yín ṣe. Ẹ̀yin olórí burúkú bombasta. Mo kí àmì Fatusi Elizabeth, mo ní owó láptọ̀pù yẹn ti pé a máa rà lénìí, àmọ́ tá a bá ṣì rí sí i kò ń pọ̀ jù torí pé kí ni mídíà máa nílò owó ní gbogbo ìgbà. Mo kí ìyá mi Tóyìn Dàda Àjàyí, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti London, mo kí ẹ̀yin ti Badagry, mo kí ìyàwó Eunice Ládépọ̀, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá wà títí dé New Zealand àti Australia. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń bẹ ní gbogbo Libya àti ní Syria náà. Ẹni tó bá náà wọ́n dẹ ẹgbẹ́ kan sílẹ̀, ní kẹ́ má dẹgbẹ́ sílẹ̀, tẹ́ bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ lọ fún Fúlàní ní wọ́n ní pé kó kúrò lórí ilẹ̀ wa. Èyí tá à ń sọ nìyẹn, ẹ̀yin máa dẹ́rù bọ ọmọ Yorùbá ara yín, tẹ́ bá ní nǹkan lára òun ṣe Yorùbá lè máa fi dán wò, ẹ lọ fi dán Fúlàní wò, ẹ̀yin bọ́n basta. Ọkùnrin ogun. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Òun ò sáfógun. Mo kí bàbá mi Moses Ọláníran, Akeem Ajani, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Côte d'Ivoire, mo kí gbogbo àwọn ẹni Ọlọ́run, mo kí gbogbo àwọn kábíyèsí wa láti Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀, Ọ̀jájá second, olórí ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí bàbá mi Aláàfin ikú bàbá yèyé, bàbá tó ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ wọlé ni o, kò ń ṣe ikú bàbá yèyé, ẹ̀rọ pé ikú kan tuntun tó dé nísìn, ikú tó kì í kú. On the 6th of April la máa ṣe coronation ní Aláàfin. Ẹ náwó fún Koiki ká lè rí gbogbo kìíní ẹ gbé jáde, kẹ má dúró de BBC olórí burúkú àwọn bombasta tó yẹ pé ambition BBC ni pé kílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó wà ní ìdọ̀tí ní ti Queen àbí King tó ń gbádùn ayé ẹ̀, tí àwọn ọba tiwa tí wọ́n lè pàṣẹ. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin Alhaji Adéyẹmí, bàbá dáadáa, kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín, Ọlọ́fà wọn, ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ìgbòho, kò ń ṣe kékeré. Bàbá ibo lẹ ti wá rí skit tẹ́yìn àti mọ́mì yẹn jọ ṣe, kó láìkì tẹ́ ń jù báyìí, ó náà pẹ́ ìrojú mi dáadáa bí kìíní ẹ̀ ṣe dúró ní jàre, àbí ẹ ti rójú mi báyìí gbogbo yín. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá nílé o, a ní ṣe ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà, àmọ́ àgbàlagbà tó bá fẹ́ ká ṣẹ̀wọ̀n a máa ṣẹ̀yìn, torí pé kí ni à ń sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò dá bó ṣe rí báyìí. Ẹ wo tí bàbá Ṣòkòtì sọ, bàbá yẹn bínú sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, ó bínú pé kí ló dé. Evans, ta ló rántí Evans? Wọn ní pẹ́ fi Evans sílẹ̀ tá a bá pariwo. Evans wọ́n ti fẹ́ fi sílẹ̀, wọn ló ti dìyàn dáadáa. Evans tó ń jíyàn gbé, ọmọ Ìgbò yẹn olórí burúkú tó pààyàn tó ń jíyàn gbé, wọ́n ti fẹ́ fi sílẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́yẹ̀ òṣì, àwọn lọ́yẹ̀ òfò, ṣé yẹ kí wọ́n fi ru Evans yẹn sílẹ̀? Ẹni tí ẹ kọ́ tì mọ́lé kọ́ gbàgbé kọ́kọ́rọ́ ẹ̀. Mo kí ẹlẹ́ǹkan sí bàbá mi Alhaji Adéyẹmí, wà látà ló kọ́kọ́ pè mí pé kódà kan wà lórí social media, ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ gan àti Ìgbòho. Mo ní ó ní òkè wo ni, mo ní èèyàn mélòó la fẹ́ máa wò lórí social media. Wọ́n rí pé bàbá yẹn nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ìgbòho lóòótọ́. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn olólùfẹ́ wa tẹ́tí wọlé, ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ̀ọ̀ra gbọ́nrin yẹn ní kékeré díẹ̀ sí. Ìyá mi Bísọ́lá, mo kí ẹ bá ń gbọ́ wọlé share button mo kẹ̀yìn ni. Pastor Jerry wà lórí ètò lánàá, 120-something thousand. It shows that people need miracle. Pastor Jerry wà lórí live lánàá láti aago 9 títí di aago 5 àárọ̀ yìí, 129,000 view lórí YouTube. TPS kún ni. Ṣé ta bá pè fún rally bí gbogbo ṣe máa jáde nìyẹn? Mo kí brọ́dà mi Jimmy Koya, ta bá ti pè fún rally mo ó pè bí gbogbo náà ṣe máa jáde nìyẹn, lógún, torí ọ̀rọ̀ miracle ní kọ́kọ́ ló wà ńlẹ̀. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ dúró. I'm sure pé gbogbo ilẹ̀ rí Pastor Jerry lánàá. all over the world. Àràṣẹ máa bẹ̀ yín share tó bá yẹ pé èmi náà ti di ẹni tó ń ṣe miracle nísìn tí mò ń padán bá nísìn ìbí báyìí máa dàrú ni. Àwọn ọ̀padán Yorùbá nation òun làwọn sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Mo kí ẹ ní gbogbo Àlímọ̀ṣọ́ local government brother mi Adéyẹmí, gbogbo èyí tí ẹ ń prepare, kò sí ẹnì kankan tó máa jáde tí kò ní wọlé láàrin wa nígbà tá a bá jáde fún rally. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀, kò sí kankan tẹ́ni government lè ṣe, ẹ̀tọ́ wa là ń béèrè fún, àdàlúrú, àbálẹ́jẹ́, àbọ̀nàjẹ́, right wa là ń béèrè fún. Wọ́n dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní right yẹn, if not àkúrò lójú títì. Mo kí gbogbo èyí tí ẹ wà lórí ètò ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí bàbá mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ìbà Gani Adams lóògùn ọ̀fẹ́ o, ẹ gbé dálẹ̀ dáadáa bàbá. Àwọn ọmọ yín dúró tì yín, bí gómìnà kan bá fẹ́ dẹ́rù bàyàn á fún lépè, á fi èpè ránṣẹ́ sí, ẹ dúró dáadáa. Tinubu òkùnkùn ní kankan tó fi ọ́fà yín, olórí burúkú ni gbogbo wọn, ẹ dúró dáadáa bàbá. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àjọ sowọ́pọ̀, á sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú bàbá Akintoye, ká gbára wa sílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn Fúlàní, torí Fúlàní ló ń control economy wa, àwọn ló ń control ẹ Yorùbá. Wọ́n jẹ́ ká rí mímú, ẹ sọ fún Tinubu pé kó pín Nàìjíríà. Mo kí ẹ brọ́dà mi Azeez, ànípẹ́ wọnú ètò, bàbá ti wọnú ẹ̀, kíkì yẹn máa lọ́lẹ̀ díẹ̀. Èmi náà ń pín ètò yẹn ní ẹ̀ bá mi pín. Happy weekend lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí. Mo kí Ṣọlá kò gbọdọ̀ kú, mo kí ẹ dáadáa brother sister mi. Àwa ara wa la máa gbára wa sílẹ̀. Wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́rù lọ. Mo wo múfì kan lórí Netflix, Alice lórúkọ fíìmù yẹn, ta ló ti wò lórí Netflix? Àṣé wọ́n ti fi wọ́n sílẹ̀, ẹrú ti tán. Àwọn ìbò kan dẹ̀ ṣe mú àwọn kan, wọ́n mú àwọn bí dúdú bí mélòó kan, wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ṣe wọ́n ṣẹrú. Ìgboro dẹ̀ ti dìgboro. Àwọn ọmọ ẹ lọ wò lórí Netflix, Alice lórúkọ múfì yẹn, ALICE ló ṣe wò níjẹta ẹni. They were still using them as slaves, not knowing that the world has already stopped slavery. Ìyàn ta ló ti wọ fún mi yẹn lórí Netflix? Alice, mo kí ìyá mi Rẹ̀mí Táíwò. So ẹni tó ò fẹ́ jẹ́ kíyàn lọ wọ́n mọ̀ pé freedom ti wà, but àwa tí a wà ní Nàìjíríà la mọ̀ pé freedom ti wà. Ẹ̀tọ́ ẹni mo ráwọn àdúgbò kan tó lọ ń complain pé wọ́n níná. How can you pay for electricity kan máa fún ẹ níná? So wọ́n mọ̀ dájú pé we are no longer a slave, but wọ́n sì fi ọ̀bọ̀ wá lójú until tí gẹ̀yẹn escape. Téèyàn bá gbìyànjú, ìyẹn ò lè débi kankan. Ilé ìṣọ̀rọ̀ Quran, kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ ìṣẹ̀ṣe. O gbọ́dọ̀ gbìyànjú láyé ni, torí kí wọ́n fi jẹ́ ká lọ. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tá bá ti free, we are free. Bishop Adesina ni I have read the book. Alice lórúkọ fíìmù yẹn. Ẹ lọ wẹ̀ ní bá ní Netflix. They were using them as slaves, real slaves. Dúdú ni wọ́n, àwọn ìbò yẹn wọ́n ń tọ́jọ́ wọn nínú sugarcane whatever kan fi wọ́n sí. Tọ́jọ́ gidi ni mo sọ. Until Alice, girl tó wà láàrin wọn dúdú yẹn, ó láti escape. Nígbà tó wá dé títì ló wá ní pé ó wá rí èèyàn dúdú. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ bíbá ìka tó máa wọnú ètò lọ, ká fi orin yẹn sílẹ̀ díẹ̀. Ó wá dé ìgboro, ẹ mọ̀, ó ti wọnú gbó lọ, inú gbó ni gbogbo ibi tó kó wọn sí inú gbó ni àwọn òyìnbó yẹn lórí burúkú. Eventually ó escape. Nígbà tó wá jáde sí main road, ó wá rí civilization, ó wá wonder pé láti bo síbo. Ó dàbí ẹni tó kúrò Nàìjíríà tó dé abroad, tí immigration ní kọ́kọ́ fún ẹ ní respect. Wọ́n wá máa fi wò ó pé but níbi tó ti ń bọ̀ ní Africa, ní Nàìjíríà, immigration officer fún ẹ ní respect, ṣe ló ń threaten ẹ. Where did you get this visa from? Where are you going? Blah blah blah. Whereas tó bá dé London, tó bá dé America, tó bá dé Canada, tó ní tẹ̀ ní visa lọ́wọ́, wàá rí pé immigration officer máa bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìwà ọmọlúwàbí. Wàá máa wonder pé bó ti ní tó ti ń bọ̀ yẹn, báwo ló ṣe rí bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn? bó ṣe kàyéfì fún mi náà nìyẹn ní 1998, even though travelling was not new to somebody like me, because primary school ni mo wà ní mọ̀ sí mi ti lọ sí Hong Kong tọ́lọ́nrago wa ta ló ń tà ní jàǹkàrà. I was in primary school. Ìyá mi ti lọ sí more than 30 countries nílẹ̀ ayé yìí. Kó tó bí mi ní 1970 ni mọ̀ sí mi ti travel. Kó tó bí mi ní 1970 ni mọ̀ sí mi ti travel. Last born ni wa UK lọ bí sí ní 1980. Kó tó di pé Margaret Thatcher cancel òfin. Kẹ́lẹ́ gbẹ́ni tó jókòó tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí náà ń ṣe àwọn tó jáde pé ọmọ àpáta dìde. No, ọmọ olówó gidi ni mí. Mo máa ń sọ yẹn. Koiki Tobeki Alhaji Ọmọ́táyọ̀ Koiki constant star àbátẹ́mí nìyẹn. Bomb bastard. Ìyàn kan ní yes, it's a true life story Koiki Akintoye bí àwọn tí wọ́n fíìmù yẹn. So Alice wá jáde after tó ti wà nínú farm tó ń lò wọ́n burúkú àwọn òyìnbó lórí burúkú yìí. She eventually escaped. Mo pe fan yóò pọ̀ jù ṣé breeze yẹn kí kò affect audio wa àdè ló laptop because àwọn tó ṣe laptop wa so gbogbo phones ni mo fi ń ṣe broadcast àti iPad. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ràn wá lọ́wọ́ pé Koiki I need account number já fi kankan síbẹ̀ fún ẹ lóòótọ́ o ti sọ títọ́ pé owó ti pé kò mátà tẹ́ bá ra méjì kò pọ̀ jù tẹ́ bá ra mẹ́ta kò pọ̀ jù 430,000 ní tó máa lọ rà láàárọ̀ yìí máa send owó sọ́mọ yẹn kó máa lọ sí computer village. Ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa ẹ ṣé gan ni. Now nígbà tí Alice jáde síta, this is a replica to what is happening with Yoruba people. Báwo lọmọ Yorùbá máa dé Amẹ́ríkà tó máa shine ó dẹ̀ wà ní Nàìjíríà kò shine? Báwo lọmọ Yorùbá ṣe máa dé Libya tó lè kọ́ bọ́ngálò sílùú ẹ̀ kò lè kọ́ bọ́ngálò wáyé tó wà ní Nàìjíríà? Because something is not right. Into right yẹn là ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ nísìn. Into right yẹn là ń sọ pé let us rectify this damage. Damage yìí cannot continue, but àwọn olóṣèlú ò fẹ́ jẹ́ ká rectify it because inú bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn tí ń jẹ olórí burúkú ni wọ́n, they are bomb bastard. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tẹ bá ti free ẹ ní máa ṣẹrú ò ní láti lọ bá olóṣèlú pé ebi ń pẹ́ láàárọ̀. Ìwọ ló bá yàwó ẹ̀ sùn olóńgbò olóṣèlú pé kó fún ẹ lówó kó fi mú yàwó ẹ lọ sí antenatal. Ní UK táwa bá báyàwó wa sùn tó bá ti lóyún a máa ti lọ sọ́dọ̀ GP ní inú wa tẹ̀ máa ń dùn especially àwa tá à níwèé nígbà yẹn torí tó bá ti bímọ condition ẹ ti change díẹ̀ ní UK. Tó bá ti wọ UK máa sọ tó máa ṣe fún ọ tó máa gbé nílùú yẹn for 20 years kò sí ta máa sọ lórí social media o gbọ́dọ̀ ti wà ní UK mo lè ṣe visa. Tó bá ti wà nínú UK máa sọ tó máa ṣe fún ọ tó máa gbé níbẹ̀ gbogbo etí Kẹ́mi bá dé náà kì í sọ yẹn ààrẹ ló ń sọ sí until tó bá free ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n dẹ̀ ní free ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwa la máa free ara wa bí Alice ṣe free the rest of the slave. Ìyàn kan ló máa dìde ló máa sacrifice. Wọ́n yìnbọn fún ọkọ Alice òun ò survive ẹ̀ nígbà tí ó fẹ́ sá lọ Alice ló wá padà sá lọ. Ẹni tó bá lọ wo fíìmù yẹn nígbà tí òyìnbó yẹn wọ́n dé Alice mọ́lẹ̀ mo kàn fi fún ní a brief of summary. Wọ́n dé Alice mọ́lẹ̀ Alice wá rí opportunity láti sá lọ. A rí opportunity nísìn à ní ká push out àwọn kan tún ní náà ṣé rálì lẹ́ máa ṣe ṣé ọ̀nà tẹ́ máa gbà nìyẹn nǹkan kan la máa ṣe tá máa fi push out. A ṣe ń pariwo and create awareness which is very good but tá a bá bọ́ sójú títì kò ń ṣe pé a fẹ́ bà kan jẹ́ àbá anything jẹ́. Mọ̀mísí mi lẹ́nu kí n máa specify yẹn ní gbogbo gbà a jáde láti bà nǹkan kan jẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni àwa la ní nǹkan yẹn a dẹ̀ ní time but we are coming out and demanding our rights. Tinubu náà jáde rí nígbà tó ń ṣe nàdẹ́kù náà òun àtàwọn Fáyẹmí gbogbo wọn pátápátá so kí làwa náà ti fẹ́ wá jáde nísìn tó máa fi ikú lé wa kọ́ kúkú pa gbogbo wa nàka mọ̀ kọ́ pa gbogbo wa bí à ń béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ wa bí àwọn ò ní kú mọ́ kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tọ́lọ́run dá sáyé tí kò ní kú ikú kan dẹ̀ ló máa pààyàn so ọ̀rọ̀ ikú yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ kúrò láyà wa torí ó lè sùn kó má jì mọ́tò lè báyàn. Àná alánà accident ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Brazil èèyàn méjì ló kú ẹni tó wà lórí ilẹ̀ tí plane bá wà jágbá tí kò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé plane bọ̀ orí ilẹ̀ lòun ti ń kí ní kan plane tó wà lókè tó wá báyàn nísàlẹ̀ accident happen but the problem pẹ̀lú àwọn Yorùbá ni pé we always feel too scared ká má ti gbọ́ kankan bá hey àwọn ọmọ ẹtí ti dé mo kí mọ́mì mi dúpọ̀ agboola ẹ ṣé gan ni mà ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí ọ̀rọ̀ Alice yẹn. Alice take an advantage wo ló take? Mo ń bọ̀, mo fẹ́ wo bí a mo lè rí Alice Netflix. Nígbà tí Alice bá rí opportunity, kí ló ṣe? Bọ̀bọ̀ òyìnbó yẹn ti dé mọ́lẹ̀, ó ti dé, ó gbé síta, ìta ni Alice sùn overnight. Ó fi kiri, ẹmọ bó ṣe máa ń ṣe láyé àtijọ́ yẹn, àwọn olórí burúkú òyìnbó yẹn tó ń ṣe ń ṣerú, ó ti gbé kinní sí lẹ́nu báyìí nígbà tí ilẹ̀ mọ́. Ó dẹ̀ like Alice yẹn gan because ó train Alice láti lè máa kàwé, kó lè máa kàwé fún àwọn olórí burúkú òyìnbó yìí. So eventually Alice nígbà tí ilẹ̀ mọ́, ó lọ tú kinní yẹn, ó dàmí sí lórí. So Alice wá rí advantage, ìgò tó ti fọ́ sílẹ̀ lẹ̀ ó fi ya ojú ẹ̀. Mo ní àgbàdúrà kí ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ wà lórí pàfẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Kò ní sí yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká tutù ẹ̀ dànù. Àdúrà pé kó má pọ̀ nígbà ni. Pé wọ́n yìnbọn fún yàn lọ́jọ́ ta ni. Ìbọn pa wa brother wa tó wá láti Èkìtì. Jùmọ̀kẹ́ Oyèlékè tó bá wa ṣe rálì tó ń ta wóróbo ṣebí wọ́n pa. So ọ̀rọ̀ blood kò sí, àfi tí Tinubu bá divide Nàìjíríà tí kò fi jẹ́ kó lọ sọ́nà Yugoslavia, and that's what we are telling him. Ó ní opportunity láti ṣe nísìn because Ọlọ́run rán níṣẹ́, ó wá kù sí lọ́wọ́ tó bá fẹ́ ṣe, tó bá fẹ́ ṣe pàwọ́ gbọ́dọ̀ dúró dè yẹn to finish it up ká tó wọnú ètò lọ. Alice took advantage. Ó kọ̀ ní opportunity pé àsìkò tó yẹ kóun sá lọ lélẹ̀. Ìgò tó wà nílẹ̀ tó ti fọ́, bó ṣe fi ya bọ̀bọ́ yẹn lójú nìyẹn, bó ṣe bẹ́ jáde nìyẹn kúrò ní ọgbà yẹn, bó ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sáré tó ń sáré. True life story ni mo ń sọ yìí o. Ní Amẹ́ríkà, after ti slave ti tán, àwọn kan sì kọ́ àwọn kan sínú fáàmù wọ́n lò wọ́n as a slave. Àwọn yẹn ò dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé dúdú ti ń ṣe nǹkan dáadáa níta. Nígbà tí Alice wá bọ́ sí main highway, ẹ̀mẹ̀pá highway lọ́mọ pẹ̀lú Amẹ́ríkà. Nígbà tó jáde ló wá realize pé ẹmọ nǹkan máa strange. Ó dàbẹ̀ tó dé láti Nàìjíríà tó bá dé London, gbogbo náà ni. Gbàtẹ́mi náà dé London, mò ń wò pàápàá ní pé ọmọ nígbà fine gan, even though pé mo wà okay Nàìjíríà. Nígbà tá Alice wá dé títì, ó wá ń wo gbogbo nǹkan, ó wá ń strange sí. In tó wá ń strange sí ni pé orí dúdú tó ń wa mọ́tò. Ó wá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ dúdú yẹn pé ṣé ìwọ ti free ni? Ẹ mọ̀ pé báwa ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn nísìnyí pé you are not free. Ṣé mọ̀ fáwọn kan wọ́n ń doubt ẹ̀ pé Koiki shut up, we are free in Nigeria. Free. Lóòótọ́ tá a bá gba country òfin máa wà, but right now free nínú Nigeria. Ẹrú ni gbogbo wa, including myself. Ẹrú ni gbogbo wa. Nígbà tí wọ́n gbé dé hospital, bọ̀bọ̀ tó gbé dé hospital yẹn, mo kàn try láti fún yín a bit of hint around it. But the most important thing is she made an opportunity and she made use of it quickly. Because opportunity Alice òun ló free the remaining more than maybe 10 different slaves. Nígbà tó wá jáde, ó ń wo magazine, ó ń wo dúdú nínú magazine. Ẹ mọ̀, dúdú tí ó jẹ́ pé inú oko ló fi wọ́n sí, tó ń fìyà jẹ wọ́n. So Alice was shocked. She was surprised to find out that the blacks were already doing great things. They were already in the media. I'm talking about, this is a true life story. Because as at that time, what they abolished is slave. But àwọn ẹwà mọ tó yìnbọn yẹn sọ. And I'm just going to try to òun lélẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ wò bí mo lè fún yín ní a bit of a preview. Mo bọ̀ ó tẹ̀ gbé mi lọ sórí Netflix mi lórí laptop straight to me. Because ẹlòmíì tá a bá lo different thing láti fi bá yín sọ̀rọ̀, ní understanding nǹkan tá à ń sọ, ṣe lọ máa ń rò pé bóyá kí ló le tó yìí náà Koiki, kí ló le tó yìí, sẹ́yìn nìkan ní Yorùbá nation ni. ẹ ṣe sùúrù náà, but nítorí pé àwa rí so many things, ẹ wo bá ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ Kashmir lánàá, every day we are looking at different things from different angles. Ǹbọ̀ Alice, mo fẹ́ type ẹ̀ sínú search ni, òun lélẹ̀ tí n bá tẹ̀ clear fún yín torí nìkan mo ní kìíní yẹn, mo kàn fífi wọn wá. Ǹbọ̀ torí sometimes we have to make use of different things to explain things to ourselves. Alice lele, Alice le, bèbí tẹ̀ ń rí, ẹni tó ń pè ní Alice lele. She had to sacrifice. Mo fẹ́ mu lọ sí ẹgbẹ́ nsú síwájú díẹ̀ sí. Ó wá shocked pé dúdú, shock yẹn ti pọ̀ jù fún. She could not believe it that ṣé dúdú ti ń ṣe nǹkan dáadáa báyìí. Tá bá gba Yorùbá country, ẹ̀rí bá ṣe máa progress within 1 year. Nàìjíríà ló ń hold wa padà sẹ́yìn. Mo fẹ́ rewind ẹ̀ because tí kò bá escape mo fẹ́ dáwọ́ bíbà. Tó bá tẹ̀ máa yọ fídíò yẹn ká sì wò díẹ̀ ẹ̀wòrán níbi tí ìjà ti ń lọ láàrin òun àti òyìnbó yẹn lélẹ̀, ṣẹ̀rí òyìnbó yẹn lélẹ̀, ṣẹ̀rí bó ṣe dé, ṣẹ̀rí pé slave, ṣẹ̀rí bó ṣe dé, whereas dúdú ti free níta but àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀mọ̀ kan ẹ jẹ́ kémi mute sound wọn kákọ̀ máa wò kí máa fi ṣàlàyé fún yín. Ó fún lómi mu, ṣẹ̀rí gíláàsì tó fi fún lómi mu yẹn òun ló fi ṣe ìkà fún bọ̀bọ́ yẹn tó fi sá lọ. Gíláàsì yẹn níbi tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fa wàhálà, kíní tó fi mú mi yẹn òun ló padà fọ́. Kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ níbẹ̀ ni pé téèyàn bá make a push for something, you will be stuck and nothing is going to come out of it. Alice was the one that had to save the rest of the slaves. Ṣẹ̀rí pé jà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀, ó kọ́kọ́ fọ́ kíní yẹn mọ́ lórí. Òyìnbó yẹn overpower because obìnrin ni. Ṣẹ̀rí pé òyìnbó yẹn ti overpower. Ṣẹ̀rí pé overpower, ṣẹ̀rí pé ó triangulated. Now kí ló láti ṣe níbẹ̀ yẹn? Ó farabalẹ̀, ó wo kí ló wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Ṣẹ̀rí ó ti mú ìgò. Ṣẹ̀rí kí ló ṣe? Ṣẹ̀rí kí ló ṣe? Ó fi ya wèrè lójú pé kò ní fún bàbá ẹ̀ one pastor. Kí ló wá ṣe? Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí sá lọ. Ṣẹ̀rí ìwọ tó ní ká má escape nínú Nàìjíríà kò ní dá fún bàbá ẹ̀ ò ní ṣoríire ọmọ àlè. Ṣorí bó ṣe ń sá lọ. Bó ṣe di pé ó free nìyẹn, kò wá ń ṣòwò ló free, ó wá free the rest of the slaves tó wà nínú farm yẹn. Ìgbòho ní pé ká free ara wa, ẹ̀yin sọ pé ká shut up, ẹ̀yin ló ti sọ̀rọ̀ jù, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ká má bọ́ àgbàlagbà ọmọlúwàbí ni wá, ẹ̀yẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣẹ̀rí bó ṣe ń sá lọ. Ó wá sáré títí nígbà tó dé ojú títì ló wá wọ́ndà pé ṣọ́ọ̀kì yẹn ti pọ̀jù fún, kò lè believe ẹ̀ pé dúdú ti ń ṣe nǹkan dáadáa níta, just like báwa Yorùbá kan ṣe ń ṣe dáadáa níta tá à ń sọ fẹ́yìn pé Nàìjíríà ló ń dìgbà yín, ìlú wèrè ní Nàìjíríà, òun ni kò jẹ́ Ṣẹ̀rí true life movie lélẹ́yò yìí tá gbọ́ táwo ti tó. This is what is happening right now in Yoruba land. Mo kàn come across movie yìí ni mo sọ fún yín pé international platform ní ibi báyìí ni máa ti yọ Nàìjíríà kúrò lẹ́mìí ẹ̀. Torí ìwọ tó ṣì wà adamant tó ń sọ pé we are not slave, Jésù Kristi wà pẹ̀lú ṣọ́tọ̀ pé Jésù, mo sọ fún kẹ́yìn máa pe Jésù idiot all over the place. Èyí máa jẹ́ ká wà upset tó mo like Jésù, èmi àti Jésù àjọ máa ń ṣàdúrà lójoojúmọ́ ni. Ẹ má fi Jésù fi dẹ́rù bà wá. Mo ti bá àfáà mi kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí. Àwọn náà dúró, wọ́n wà nínú ilé alúwà tó ń ṣàdúrà fún wa. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń gbọ́wọ́ kọ́wọ́ lórí Ọlọ́run ọba ò ní jẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Àfáà yẹn náà ò mọ Ìgbòho rí, ó ní Ọlọ́run fi gàgá Ìgbòho wá bá òun nínú ilé ni. Àfáà tí mò ń sọ yìí, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́ àmọ́ ìtọ́jú lọ́wọ́ gangan. 4 years ago ta bẹ̀rẹ̀ movement lọ èmi ti mọ̀ wọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n ní kò ṣe pé wọ́n sọ ọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho fáwọn, wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run ló fi gàgá Ìgbòho wá wọ̀n àwọn nínú ilé. Ìwọ wọn sọ pé ta ni Ìgbòho ń máa lò lọ́jáde kó lọ ṣe tí Ìgbòho ṣe bí a Tinubu ò ní fún ẹlẹ́pọ̀n ẹ máa ṣe ọ́díò àwa ní ẹgbẹ́ ọmọ kìíní kan ta ló dé ẹgbẹ́ yín mú tó bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́ ṣe tí Ìgbòho ṣe kẹ́ survive ẹ̀. Jẹ́ kí sójà méjì wá bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ilé kọ́ ṣe síyá fún ẹ, sójà méjì péré jẹ́ kọ́ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú ilé wàá rí bàbá wàá pè níyà. Èèyàn máa lè ká ń sọ pé ká ṣe sùúrù ká tẹ̀lé ẹni tó mọ̀nà ẹni ẹ̀fẹ́ tẹ̀lé ẹni tó mọ̀nà. So kí ni mo fẹ́ fààyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé to be free kò ń ṣe tó máa wá easy. Alice had to sacrifice herself for the rest of the slave. Nígbà tóun ti wá jáde iṣẹ́ sọlọ ó wá realize pé dúdú ti wà nínú magazine, dúdú ti ń ṣe dáadáa, dúdú ti wà nínú studio, dúdú ti wà nínú movie, wọ́n ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí TV. Ó wá ń wonder pé so àwọn táwọn tọ́kọ̀ wọn sínú igbó yẹn báwo làwọn ṣe wá wà nínú igbó. Ẹmu tó yìnbó yẹn sọ fún nígbà tí ó padà dé ó padà lọ síbẹ̀ lọ rescue àwọn tó kù, just like bá ṣe fẹ́ rescue ara wa, because mo lè sọ pé a fẹ́ rescue ẹ̀yin, mo fẹ́ rescue ara mi from Nigeria ni, ìwọ náà fẹ́ rescue ara ẹ, olúkálukú ń jà fún ẹ ni. Èmi ń jà fáwọn ọmọ Oòduà torí mo gbọ́dọ̀ kó wọn dé Ìjẹ̀bú-Òde torí ibẹ̀ lórísun wọn wà. Èmi ò mọ̀ tẹ̀yìn o bí ẹ fi kọ́ àwọn ọmọ yín tó wà láàbúrò torí wọ́n ń jẹ burger, wọ́n ń jẹ KFC, wọ́n ń jẹ pizza, wọ́n wà ní school tó dáa, wọ́n wà ní university tó dáa, ẹ fi kó wọn dé Èkìtì àbí? Torí pé Èkìtì ò kì í ṣe ibi tí ẹ fẹ́ kó wọn lọ nísìnyí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbalẹ̀ Yorùbá kí Èkìtì ní airport tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó ní security, àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa kó wọn wálé. Ẹlòmíà kó àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ wá wọ́n lè lọ sí ìlú Èkó lọ́mọdé sí, wọ́n náà wá ṣọlídé, wọ́n ní torí pé wọ́n máa pa wọ́n nílùú. Kò lè sí nǹkan tó ń pa anybody. It's because of the mentality that ní pé there is always an evil behind everything. Everybody bá wà okay ó ní máa ronú bẹ́ẹ̀, àní máa ronú pé ìyáálé wa kan ló máa pa wá tàbá káwọn lọ sílé. It's because of this stupid mentality tó ti fi wá ní back of our mind pé evil ni dúdú. Àwọn olórí burúkú òyìnbó dẹ̀ lọ ṣe yẹn, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ dúdú. Ọlọ́run dá olúkálukú lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀, but Ọlọ́run dá ìran Yorùbá ó dá dáadáa. Ìyẹn ni bàbá Akintoye ṣe sọ pé let us get the hell out of Nigeria by all means as a non-violent. Tó bá yẹ ká fẹ́ ṣe violent ni àti bàǹkan jẹ́ tipẹ́. Àmà ní village dẹ̀dẹ̀ dùn jù, but ní abroad àwa fẹ́ gbé ní village, but ní Nàìjíríà a lè gbé ní village wa because à ń bẹ̀rù pé ìyá arúgbó kan wà níbẹ̀, ìyá arúgbó tó dá kankan mọ̀, ìyá arúgbó tó yẹ pé èmi inú wọ́n sì wà, wọn ò ní dementia. Àwọn ìyá tiwa tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá wọn ò ní dementia, but because a ti rí wọn as ìyá arúgbó àjẹ́, especially àwọn churches, kò ń ṣe gbogbo church o àtàwọn mọ́ṣáláṣí, wọ́n ti sọ everybody di àjẹ́. Má súnmọ́ ìyá yẹn o, àwọn ìyá tó yẹ ká súnmọ́ kọ́ gbé nǹkan gidi kọ́ fún wa ní nǹkan gidi. Àwọn tó rí inú tó ríta, ẹlòmíì ojú ẹ̀ ti fọ́ but ó rìn ọjọ́ ẹni tó rànjú kalẹ̀ bí ẹṣọ oníwòlí mọ̀ báyìí. So kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Alice wá padà lọ, ẹmọ tó yìnbó yẹn sọ fún. Mo fi òbí àmọ́ lè mú ní tó yìnbó yẹn wá tó sọ towards the end. Òyìnbó yẹn nílò tọ́ ni freedom ti wá, ẹ̀yin ilẹ̀ lọ́nì ẹ̀ gbọ́ mi. Òyìnbó yẹn ni yes nítorí níta lóòótọ́ ní gbòòrò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni there is a freedom, but ẹ̀yin ilẹ̀ decide pé ẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ. Ẹni tó bá ní Netflix kẹ́ lọ farabalẹ̀ wo movie yẹn Alice, you will be shocked. Mo wo báyìí mo kàn mẹ́rẹ́ báyìí níbi tí mo ti wò pé can you imagine? A ní ká gbára wa sílẹ̀ ká free, àwọn kan ní no we don't want to be free. I know we don't want to be free, we want to be slaves. À ń rí opportunity láti lọ nísìn àdẹ̀sọ́pá àfi lọ. Kí ni kan olóṣèlú they are politicians to the core ní gbogbo wọn olè ní wọn. Àwọn ò ní kankan tó fẹ́ offer. And I hope what I've talked about, would encourage us and would give us the privilege. Ẹ wo Alice tẹ́ ẹ̀ rí tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ wo bó ṣe wá fine, aṣọ ọmọ tó fine ni, ẹ wo náà. Ṣé èèyàn lè sọ pé slave lélẹ̀, ó ti jáde sí gbòòrò, ó ti ṣe afro, ó ti look beautiful. Nígbà tó padà dé gan, òyìnbó yẹn gan ọ̀dà mọ̀mọ́. Ó ní Alice, ó ní yes. Ó ní Alice, ó ní yes. Ó kọ́kọ́ pàdé ìyàwó bàbá yẹn, ó kọ́kọ́ ti pàdé yẹn nígboro. Ó gba etí yẹn, ó ní I am no longer your slave. Ọmọ yẹn tẹ sọ pé Alice, I am hungry. Ó ní I am not cooking, I am not your slave. In terms of ọmọ Yorùbá nìyẹn tó dìjà láàrin gbogbo wa. You are not a slave. O kì í ṣe ẹrú. Ẹ̀sìn ò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Yorùbá nation. Bá ṣe máa kírun, ẹ lè stop Christianity nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ lè stop Islam. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a máa encourage tradition wa torí culture wa nìyẹn. Ṣé wàá sọ fún mi nísìn pé èmi tó bí sí ọmọ Muslim, wàá sọ fún mi pé tí ló gba Yorùbá nation? Nílẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn. Ẹ̀sìn wa máa ṣe wá intact. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kírun kó kírun, ẹni tó bá kírun kó má kírun. But in terms sọ ni pé ká tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ retain identity wa. Ó dẹ̀ possible. Àwọn kan rò pé bóyá kìíní ohun tó máa pẹ́ tó ní possible ni. Ó possible tá a bá sowọ́ papọ̀. Tí Gani Adams bá súnmọ́ wa, torí olóyè tẹríba fún gbogbo wa la mọ̀ yẹn. Kí Gani Adams wà honest pé lóòótọ́ la fẹ́ Yorùbá nation. Kò ń ṣe ìta máa ṣe pé ṣe bá ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ pé Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. Kí gbogbo wa dẹ̀ tẹ̀léra wa. Kí gbogbo àjọ jáde ká kọ̀ wọ́n rìn. Ṣèbí gbàtà fẹ́ ṣe rally Lagos èbí mi abá Ìbà Gani Adams sọ̀rọ̀. Tọ́ni ká máa báṣẹ́ lọ. Let's work together. Àtàgbẹ́kọ̀yà ni o, àti OPC ni o, àti reform OPC ni o, àti good APC ni o. Let everybody come together and demand one thing. One thing ni pé a fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, a fẹ́ dá dúró. But tá a bá tún ní àwọn kan tán ní yẹn kọ́ lọ restructure. Ó lè níyí. You cannot restructure Nigeria. Mo wo fídíò kan láàárọ̀ yìí, ẹ jẹ́ sáré gbé wọlé. Ọ̀dọ̀ ìkan náà ọmọ Igbo yẹn, àwọn tó máa ń ṣe fídíò yẹn náà ni. Ẹ jẹ́ sáré òbí àgbọ̀n gbé wọlé ká sáré gbọ́. Wọ́n ń dúró pé kí Nàìjíríà ṣiṣẹ́. Lọ́nà wo ló máa gbà ṣiṣẹ́? 1 million anybody lè tún Nàìjíríà ṣe. Ó rà ń kórè backup ní meeting. Ń bọ̀. Mo ti wo fídíò láàárọ̀ yìí. Àárọ̀ yìí mo ṣe ìwọ náà. Ń bọ̀. A lot of videos ni máa ń wò bọ̀. Àárọ̀ yìí mo ṣe ìwọ eléyìí. Ìwọ tó ti lọ jù báyìí. Olélè. Ẹ jẹ́ ká farabalẹ̀ ká gbọ́ fídíò yìí. Ẹ farabalẹ̀. Ṣé fáànì ẹ ṣé kò pọ̀ jù? Ṣé ẹ ṣe ń gbọ́ voice mi? Ṣé voice mi ń jáde dáadáa? Ẹ bá mi fi sínú comment section. Ṣé voice mi ń jáde dáadáa? Mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, mo kí gbogbo. Ṣé voice mi ṣó ń jáde? Torí heat yẹn pọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan mọ́ láti lọ increase fáànì yẹn. Your voice is coming out well, okay? Ọ̀dà ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́n tí arákùnrin fẹ́ sọ. Ọ̀rọ̀ ti padà. So ẹ jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ti padà. So ẹ jẹ́ kí n rewind ẹ̀ padà again. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́.
Not talking about structuring or not going for structuring, not looking at the outcome, all aspect of the outcome of even its other threat. The only way we can get out of things like the economics, insurgency.
The noise of the fan is too much. So go rule my mummy abi.
The judicial system we have now cannot catch it.
The judicial system we have now cannot catch. Okay. Now, it's just to tell us that Nigeria cannot survive itself. Nigeria cannot survive itself. We are all living in denial. AdeBanji reduce the fan here, dear. ẹni tó dẹ̀ sọ pé ká reduce ẹ̀ wọ́n pẹ̀lú owó tẹ́ máa fi ra air condition fún mi. So I manage it not by. Now we have done 1 hour already. So ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sínú the next section, which is the good news path to prosperity. It has been a while, Tatika. And like I always say, this is like a document that Akintoye took his time to put together. We have been reading a lot out of it, but lately we have been lazy again, which is not good for us. And there's so many topics that we have not yet covered. So I'm going to move it, but I suspect that where I'm going to pick it from now is where we stop. Is either maybe I might miss 1 or 2 chapters, but from now we will continue, and I'll continue to do, analysis on it. So I'm going to read through, and then we will probably look into it and then take it from there. I want to start from, we shall take good consensus of our weak citizens. I don't want to be they're struggling to really see me. We shall take good consensus of our weak citizens. Kini meaning consensus? So ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ kọ́kọ́ wo meaning consensus. Kí ló mean? Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sórí Google. I've opened too many stuff, and sometimes that anyway, the laptop in the stream. Ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ Alex ìkó àti gbọ́ yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Àti sọ̀rọ̀ Turkey. Ẹ rántí pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ Turkey lálẹ́ àná. Mo ní ta ló rántí tourism Turkey. $61.1 billion is what Turkey is making out of what's it called? Out of tourism. Good morning to some of our Biafra that have joined us as well. Let's look at the meaning of consensus. Spelled Charlie, Oscar, November, Sarah, Charlie, India, Echo, November, Tango, India, Oscar, Uniform, Sarah. The word conscientious. Consensus. Conscientious. Wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. The Nigeria state refused. Mo kí brother mi Yemi Fatoki. Ẹ má kí n tún máa dárúkọ ó máa wọnú broadcast. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ support wa lánàá àti ẹ̀yin tó máa support wa. Mo sì máa kí gbogbo yín dáadáa. The meaning of that word conscientious is something that we cannot derive from the current state of Nigeria, whether from our state level, from the federal or the local. And these are deliberate. People are kept in this situation which should not be so. It's deliberate. And this is the reason why some of us are saying enough is enough. We can no longer continue with the current state of what Nigeria is doing to our lives. And it is important that we say we've had enough. But it is difficult to explain from Yoruba. We have had enough of Nigeria because things that we should be enjoying, we are not enjoying it. So what does conscientious mean in a person with a question mark? Somebody is also asking that question on Google. Someone is conscientious. That person strives to do what is right to carry out a duty. What is the duty of Nigeria on its citizen? Can somebody help me out? What are the duty of Nigeria as a state on its citizen? The duty is to provide the basic things of life so that you can survive. Because for a human being to survive, you need the basic things of life. And whatever that means to you, we can talk about healthcare, we can talk about the welfare, education, security, making the enabling environment for you to strive, whether you're a business person, whether you're going to work in the system, when there's a problem between you and any citizen, you need to make sure that you are not kept in the prison for the next 10 years, while the rich are moving all over the place after stealing from the government coffer like Yaya Bello and the rest of them. So, what is the duty of the Nigerian to see the welfare of the people? Must be. And that is one of the biggest threats in today's Nigeria. The welfare of our people is not there. Kí ni pè ní welfare ní èdè Yorùbá? Kò sí àlàáfíà ní ilẹ̀ Nigeria lénìí. And we don't have to wait for a church to tell us that God will make it happen. He will transform our leaders. That for us is not acceptable. Because we cannot hold this leader accountable. And the reason why we cannot hold them accountable is because they believe that they are many gods. And want to do along law. Some of them even think they are gods. That's why one Oba, Abibale, can tell somebody to kneel down, one Baleti, even if that man died in that process. Because I remember when I got to UK in 1998, my mom sat me down and said, look, even though she knows that, I was not a troublesome man as at the time, even though they'll still say you're a boy, but at the time I got to UK, I was already over 20. And there was something that she kept saying that, for me, I was shocked. UK, where there is healthcare, there's everything. Later on, when I started engaging the people, Elomi ni UK, only kinito gbesabe to finto. Elomi, what is a bypass surgery for? Everybody has one kind of ailment that they are nursing. So ti wo ba lo push it, only babeku. And you will not know. And even in the UK, and they testify, say, if you go on the public transport, they will tell you that not all disability is physical. Sometimes somebody has disability, but so there are particular seats on the train and on the bus in the public transport that is left for people of that caliber. Now, many Nigerians today are walking corpse dead. They are dead already. But what more? So when something now happened, let's look at the EFCC guy that fell, I believe, in Surulere 2 weeks ago, if I'm right. Don't know what happened. It could be anything. It could be short of oxygen. It could be stress from work. Anything can be. But the young man fell down, and rather than anybody to do CPR, people were using video and recording, and he finally died. That shows a society that is already failed. But the Nigerians do not want to accept that the society has failed because they want us to hold our leaders that do not have any iota of respect for themselves, not to talk about ourselves. Does Wike respect you? You think Wike cares about your life? If you go and look back and see how Wike was before he became the governor, but now, OTD, powerful man. Go and look at Oshiomhole before he was who he is. Go and look at Dino. These are the people that we cannot hold accountable for the current welfare of our people. How can Yaya Bello steal so much money from the coffer of the state to pay the school fees of his children up to when they're going to finish the secondary school in Abuja with dollars? And all these means that you as a citizen, that we are calling your attention, we are calling your mind that look, there is option. And that option is the division of Nigeria. With divide Nigeria, there will now be accountability to hold people responsible, to question them, just as people are questioning even Trump as he's doing what he's doing right now. Even though Trump is saying that what he's doing is for the interest of America. And that is why Trump said, and I quote, especially to those of us that wants to live with and in America, that it is not by force. You don't have to live here. You can go and live in another country, but as long as you want to live here, this is what Trump has to say.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave. But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time,
you are on Yoruba soil, you are Igbo, and you are complaining, you can go back to Anambra now, go back to Enugu. It's not a must that you have to be Yoruba land, because Yoruba land has to be respected. You are Hausa. We are telling you that you cannot do certain things, and you are telling us because we are one Nigeria. Okay, Ejeka cut out from one Nigeria and have an immigration system that we control. We can decide, just as America does not give anybody visa. Just like UK is already saying by Kemi Badenoch that if you cannot respect the British law, the British ways of life, then you don't have to come and live in the UK. But we want to have a one Nigeria and control the people inside it. It is not going to be possible, because they will continue to tell you that we are one Nigeria.
And making living here actually means something. We need to change the way our immigrant system works. So I'm announcing that the Conservative Party is going to do the following things differently. 1. If you want to stay in our country permanently and apply for indefinite leave to remain, the time you have to live here before you apply will increase from 5 years to 10 years. 2. You will have to be a net contributor with a high enough salary, especially if you want to bring family members with you. And if you've got a criminal record, you're banned. 3. If you've claimed benefits or need social housing, you can't even apply. 4. We will increase the time before you can apply for a British passport from 12 months to 5 years, meaning it will take a minimum of 15 years to start an application. 5. If you enter this country illegally or outstay your visa, you will be banned from ever gaining leave to remain or a passport. These changes, on top of these strict numerical cap on numbers, will constitute the most robust changes ever made to our immigration system. Lower numbers, secure borders, and an immigration system that finally works for the British people. This is another step in our plan to control our immigration system. If you agree, join us and let's get it done.
Did you hear that? Do you want me to play it one more time? Or you want me to do analysis on it? So why should a Yoruba land be allowed to be told by Britain that no, we keep one Nigeria and we allow all Dick and Harry to get into our territory? Oh, so UK wants to be smarter than us. Sherry reason that says of àwa gangan ni ìran wọn aládé, but we are being stupid. I'm sorry to say. Kemi Badenoch is telling us that if conservative comes back to power, certain rules will change. Rules that would make you, either you want to be part of the British system, but it's not going to be business as usual. Let's take it one at a time.
Britain is our home.
Britain is not home.
Not a hotel.
It's not an hotel. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò kì í ṣe ilẹ̀ aṣálẹ̀, kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ tí Fúlàní àti Igbo àti Hausa àti Lebanese àti Britain àti America àti France àtàwọn olórí burúkú tó fẹ́ dalẹ̀ Yorùbá rú. It is not an hotel. Kò ń ṣe ibi tẹ́kọ̀ máa wá pé náà tá a bá ti débẹ̀ in tó bá wùn wá la máa ṣe. No, o lè ṣe tó bá wùn ẹ́, but why you are in Nigeria in tó bá wùn wọ́n lọ lè ṣe, because wọ́n máa claim we are Nigerians. That is the problem we are having with some of you Yoruba people. You want to control them while you are in Nigeria. It's not possible. What this woman is talking about, it will be the same like Donald Trump campaign. that tóun bá ti dérí ìjọba òun máa gbé gbogbo 11 million immigrants òun máa lé only they are aliens. You are aliens. But Yoruba people are taking a joke about our life in our own territory. We are being intimidated on a daily basis. We are being abused on a daily basis by people that doesn't love us, that doesn't care about us. Let us chuck those ones out and accept those that wants to live with us, that will respect our laws. That is all we are saying. In the Yoruba nation here, we are not just dealing with Fulanis, we are dealing with everybody. Because we are right within the enemies. And they know that. And they are pretenders. And we've heard a lot from them, whether they are the Igbos, whether they are the Hausas, the Fulanis, the Lebanese, the Chinese. How can a Chinese come on Yoruba land and be denigrating? Show you triple DRS òsì ètò àwọn tó lè bá mi wọ́n òyìnbó yẹn dáadáa nìyẹn. Àwọn ṣẹ́gun ọ̀nàrẹ́bù àwọn kàwé dáadáa yẹn pé mi ò lọ sí school. Ẹ wá sórí ilẹ̀ wa ẹ wá ń disturb ilẹ̀ yẹn because of your own selfish interest. And you want us to love you. And you want us to be united. But the longer Tabashi wà nínú Nigeria, all this rubbish will continue on Yoruba territory. And this is the reason why Tashin sọ fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ṣì ń disagree pé you can't have your cake and eat it. Let's face it squarely. Let's get a country and decide how we will manage our country. We will welcome people into Yoruba land because we are a good hospitality people. We are too hospitality. Ìyẹn náà lọ ṣe sọ gbogbo wa di tá a bá fún àwọn Ìgbò láyè nílé bàbá mi wọ́n ti máa gbà bẹ̀rù mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Ó ti tọ́ ni mo sọ fún yín. A sọ fún gbogbo anybody wọ́n bí bàbẹ́ ẹ̀mẹ́rin ló lo èdè yẹn wọ́n bí wọ́n dá. Kọ́tàlẹ̀ bàbá wa fún Ìgbò. Because mo tó ṣe fún mọ́mísí mi for 15 years lọ́ fi gba shop mọ́mísí mi. It took us over 20 years ká tó gba shop yẹn padà. Ẹni tá a gbé fún originally ó ti transfer fún èèyàn bíi mẹ́ta. Àwa ń struggle láti mọ tá la fi bá sọ̀rọ̀ gan. Àdẹ́gbẹ́ òun sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe ló ń gbé wa báyìí ló ń gbé wa báyìí. Every one of them have an agenda. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn gba Biafra wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ kó wọlé pẹ̀lú visa. Ẹ jẹ́ kó wọlé pẹ̀lú permit. Ṣebí tí Igbo bá fi lọ sí Europe ó máa gba visa ní tó bá débẹ̀ ló ṣe máa lọ wá ẹni tó máa fẹ́ lọ́hùn ló ṣe máa wá bó ṣe máa gbàwé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ fún Hausa pé yes we want you to come to our land but ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ wọlé ká má mọ orí èèyàn tẹ́ jẹ́. I am fingerprinted in UK. It's not because I'm criminal. It's because that is part of the rules. Tó bá máa gbé níbí báyìí we got to fingerprint you. Why are we stupid Yoruba people that want to tolerate nonsense? Torí pé àfẹ́ Tinubu kí ni kan Tinubu how long did Tinubu máa lò láyé? Tinubu bó ṣe wà ní another 60 years is dead, is gone. I gave him 60 years more to his life. Why should we sacrifice Yoruba land because of Tinubu? It is time to tell the truth. Òtítọ́ máa ń korò. Yoruba they like òtítọ́. And that is why we're coming out on a daily basis, shouting, crying, and telling you the truth. Mo rí Ṣòkòtì lánàá tó ń sunkún. Bàbá yẹn sunkún gidi. Ondro de diaspora. Diaspora mi ò ní interest nípa tó ń tẹ́ tó ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹlòmíì tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá gan ó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ní interest. Òfin pa àwọn ọmọ ọkọ ya ní interest nípa pé kí Nàìjíríà kó pín ni. Àwọn wọ òkè náà. They are living life. Oúnjẹ tó bá fẹ́ jẹ wọ́n máa import wá láti abroad ni. Ṣáwọn nìkan lọ lórí méjì. Sórí méjì nìkan làwọn ní. Òfin pa àwọn ọmọ alákìjà kíá Nàìjíríà ṣiṣẹ́ kò ṣiṣẹ́. We are talking about a society that has to work for the least person in Yoruba land. The least person in Yoruba land. How can a foreigner live in a foreign country and they are taking care of him and the same foreign now go back to this country and the country cannot take care of him? Do you know that many of our elderly people cannot be taken care of in Nigeria, medical wise? Àwọn ìyá mi. Okay, let's give an example of Dr. Mahumi. Dr. Mahumi cannot survive in Nigeria for 1 week because the kind of treatment that they are giving her based on her ailment, she would die, according to her, if she lives in Nigeria within 1 week because the state government of Lagos State cannot even pay for her medical. Whereas in America, she's getting it for free. So, do you understand what that means? So why are we trying to fool ourselves and look towards to these criminal politicians that doesn't care about our lives? And that is the word consensus. They can go further. On immigration, people are coming in. You want to go from Benin to Nigeria. Go to Niger and see if there is a border between Nigeria and Niger. You realize that the border is just open. The border is just open. Anybody can walk in and walk out. Nobody asking them for documents in Niger. But because Benin is a Yoruba annex, and they know that many Yoruba people are trading in and trading out, that they've militarized that area. And I keep telling us, if we are not careful, that back country in this scene, Kashmir will be a child's play for us. One man militarize the whole Yoruba land. And what they will do is, they know that we are intelligent people, but they will use non-Yoruba military within Yoruba territory. And what the same criminals that are in uniform, that are terrorists, and they will bring more of them. That is why they are praying, prayer to Wanikwe, let just allow Tinubu to do whatever shenanigans is doing. It will go. The Northerners know that Tinubu will leave power after 8 years. Tinubu cannot extend his extension for another 8 years. 8 years in Elumalo. So, are you telling us that we should wait till 2031 to push out of Nigeria? John Ogudele. Are you expecting us we can't draw in Nigeria until Tinubu ma fi pari and hand over back the power to the north? And you expect that there will be Yoruba nation? I don't think some of us understand that that is going to be very difficult. Kemi Badenoch is proposing to do something, a real plan to do something about it. Akintoye is giving us the heads up that this country called Nigeria has been
conscientious.
If someone is
conscientious,
that person strives to do what is right, to carry out a duty. Conscientious people show care and put a big effort. Being conscientious has to do with being careful, thoughtful, and decent. A conscientious doctor will do everything possible to help the patient, not in Nigeria. Because if anybody goes to the hospital, you cannot get a true treatment in Nigeria. You know why? Because firstly, they're asking for police report before they can treat you. Whereas a foreigner travels to UK, there's a slight headache, end up in the A&E. They are not asking for anything, they are treating that person. You can see the difference. And this is why we are saying to our people that we can no longer sustain. Nigeria was sustainable for. It doesn't matter whether you are rich, you are poor, because there's no middle class anymore in Nigeria. The country needs to be divided so that we can live a better life. So the topic that we are treating under the goodwill from Professor Akintoye is, we shall take good consensus of our weak citizens. And we don't put the weak citizens. Give me the people that you think are weak citizens in Nigeria today that are Yorubas. And we don't put the weak citizens. And there are many of them. Kódà ẹni tó ń títò tátolo tẹ́ ń pè ní arọkéṣe wọ́n bíbá bẹ́ẹ̀ dá kó sọ pé arọkéṣe làmẹ́ ní UK ó máa ṣe wọ́n. Oréyàn tó ń títò tí ẹsẹ̀ yẹn balance ó wá ní arọkéṣe ló ń lọ yẹn nílùú ìbò àfikọ́ má gbọ́ òun tí ń fẹ́ wọ́n ṣeré nìyẹn. That is why some of you cannot live there, especially in the because early hold àwọn nǹkan mi padà. Because it's a system that loves people with physical challenge. Tó bá rọmọ tó ń datọ́ ẹnu tiẹ̀ wá ń wa rough orí bó ṣe ń datọ́ ẹmu gbogbo àwọn àṣà burúkú àwọn àṣà jágbájágbá àti gbàgbé pé olúkálukú lọ́lọ́run dá bó ṣe wù ú. Ó dáwọ́ pé kò mean anything. Ẹlòmíì, it could be slight mistake tó ṣe lọ hospital ló sọmọ yẹn di disability. Ẹlòmíì bọ́lọ̀ ṣe dá nìyẹn. Ẹlòmíì gene, ẹlòmíì different things. Ìyẹn làwa fi ń ṣeré. Ó ní sister mi kan tí mo ti mọ̀ láti 2007 ọmọ méjì tó ní bàbá disability ló wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ nínú Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ó tẹ̀rí mi mẹ́sẹ̀jì ó ní mo ti dé oníṣẹ́ mọ̀ ń bọ̀ lábẹ́òkúta mo ní mo ti dé tán mọ̀ ń bọ̀ 2007 ni mo ti mọ̀ lórí Facebook ọmọ méjì tó wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó bá ní proper disability tó bá yẹ pé ó ní opportunity ní UK lóye káwọn ọmọ yẹn wà kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ kankan mọ́ but Nàìjíríà ò lè tọ́jú ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ti tọ́jú ara ẹ̀ adẹ̀ ní mo dẹ̀ ti gbọ́ tí Falana ti sọ́rí SAN pé Nigeria must give people benefit ó wà nínú constitution. I don't think some of you know that. But we are living in a country that everybody has to hustle. Even got the man son here at the hustle. A lot hustle. Some of you don't need to hustle. Your hustle is meant to be the government looking after you. You don't have to hustle. And to hustle ni company the government ma tax táwọn olórí burúkú northerners tó fi pa Tinubu fún nísìn tí Tinubu ní let us reform this tax. Lè má dá màálù ká má tax tá máa yọ lórí ẹ̀. You gotta pay tax on the cows. Wọ́n náà wọ́n fi sanwó fún tax. Wọ́n náà wọ́n sanwó orí fún tax. Wọ́n sanwó orí fún màálù. Ta ló mú gọ̀ ta lọ dẹ̀. Tinubu mọ̀ pé wọ́n cheat ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. We know that let us reform it. Àwọn northerners náà wọ́n nílé san salary. Ọ̀dà Tinubu lókè kí la máa ṣe báyìí. Ó pe Cardoso. I'm making this up. Ó pe Yẹmí Ẹdùn. Ó pè wọ́n sí kọ́nà. Olórí burúkú làwọn àwọn máa láàyè o. Kí la máa ṣe sọ́wọ́n báyìí àwọn yẹn ní bàbá. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ìṣìfẹ́ lọ fún 2027. Ìjẹ́ ìní jọwọ́lẹ̀ fún wọn. Kí lẹ gbọ́n kankan mọ́ nípa tax reform? Have you heard anything about the tax reform again? It's dead. Because Tinubu ambition is bigger than that. Ṣẹ́rí tí wọ́n ti ń kó problem bá wa. Because we know definitely that the taxation system right now is not right. How can Lagos, River, and some other 2 states are making good money, revenue, and then the rest? Kini you've been produced, your state. Some of those states, and people are now already asking that we should add extra more state and only. Do you know that people are already submitting that they need more extra states? When we are talking about divide Nigeria, they are telling us, oh, we need more states. Let's create more states. States that cannot be viable to treat themselves or look after their citizens. Then you now have one buffoon governor, we have like 20 cars. I'm a drive car kiri. Have PA, SSA, SFB, BBBA. And yet they produce jack shit. Nothing they can produce. Many states in Nigeria as useless as this tissue paper. Very useless. Ask yourself some of those states and ask, can one produce? That we should keep them going. And these are the reason why Yoruba nation is the solution to all this problem. So I've given us the weaker citizens. The weaker citizens, there are many of them. I'm sure you are also a weaker citizen because I need help, but you can't get the help because the system is not designed to help anybody. We Yoruba pride ourselves as a people who honor and consciously take care of our aged persons, àwọn arúgbó, àwọn ọ̀dọ́, àwọn widows, àwọn ọmọ kékèké. Like I said earlier, you give birth, your wife tells you that I can't find my period. You are very excited, especially if you're in America and UK. In America, there's a different process. I've not lived there, but in the UK, they give you a red book. From the day you go to the GP and they can confirm that your period is gone, Otiloyu are. Let's say, taka toko. You know that they will be calling you to come for. If you miss it, they will be asking why. It's free now, so why are you missing the antenatal and all the process that you have to go through from the time you give, you are pregnant? But in Nigeria, do you know how many people have died of child labor in that shit old country you are calling a country that is never a country in the first place? These can no longer be sustainable. And the longer we keep having this mindset that, oh, we will do another election, another Yoruba man will come in, another Igbo man will come in, Igbo will never be president anyway. So it is between Yoruba and the Fulanis. And the Fulanis are just waiting for Tinubu to complete his tenure and return power back to them, and which we cannot afford to be giving them the opportunity. Because they will militarize the whole. Let them come back and you'll see how they will militarize the whole of the Southwest, and your life will be miserable. Let's continue. And who cares seriously for the weaker persons among us, such as the physically challenged? Physically. These are people that they cannot do the basic things that you, a physical person, can do. Ẹni tó wà physical, ẹni tá rẹ̀ pé olówó, olójú, oní ẹsẹ̀, nǹkan kan ò ṣe é. Medical wise, you are good, you are strong. Ẹlòmíì ní ọwọ́, ó ní ẹsẹ̀, olójú, but medical wise kò fit. And it is only a qualified doctor that can say that you are not medically fit. That is why in the UK, those that are having access to benefit, at some stage, they will tell them to go to their GP and bring a report, a medical report that indicate that they are not fit to work, because àwọn kan fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́, especially àwọn òyìnbó yẹn, they are bastardly lazy. So they will always request a medical report to confirm that they cannot work. Ẹlòmíì lè ṣiṣẹ́, kò lè ṣiṣẹ́ for a very long time, torí back pain. Many reasons, but you got to be able to confirm that by your general practitioner, that one the GP, the doctor. And this is when we have a country, the country will collapse. Even America will benefit from crumble. And that is why Donald Trump is asking that we cannot continue to waste so much money for freezing things that we cannot confirm whether the money is used properly, especially the USAID that is going on right now, that have used the CIA and all these criminal institutions in America have used to destabilize mostly Africa. They'll tell you they're giving you aid, but they're using it to destabilize and prepare many, injustice. And I'm happy that Donald Trump is canceling that rubbish now. Let's go further. Physically challenged or mentally challenged, many people are mentally derailed in Africa, especially in Nigeria right now. Places like the Arrow, Douala-Bekuta, I'm sure it has gone dive down. You got to talk about investing. You got to invest in the medical sector. And if you don't have a good health system, you cannot have a good economy. Because you must have a good healthcare system in a country, because if your people are sick, you got to make sure that you can get them back on track quickly so that they can return to work. Because if 5 million people are sick there, 10 million people are sick there, and you don't have good medical, then you think now ghosts they work for UK. You think the UK that you are saying that is flourishing 24/7, they are human beings. You need to go out at 4 o'clock in the morning and see many black people that are ready to go to work and don't look clean. So if those people are sick, they can't get treatment quickly, they will be able to go to work, and that means there will be lack of, system that will work. If you have 10 drivers that are driving London buses and they are sick, then there's going to be a problem. There will be disruption in the system. The reason why Nigeria is not working is because we don't have good medical system. Because many people are sick, and some of them, the reason why they are sick is because they can't have access to good welfare. They need a good welfare so that they can be able to go to work. But firstly, there's no good welfare, and there's not even a job because all the industry have been destroyed, converted to churches. Idiot all over the place. You think all your governors doesn't know what to do? They know what to do to vibe the economy, but they don't want to do it. They are slaves, and they want to bomb bastards. In traditional Yoruba society, we used to say proudly that we will not let our weak or infirm become destitute in the street, or let them become beggars in the street. Many Yoruba people are now, do you know the meaning of destitute? You want me to check it for you? It's a very, very bad word. Kudarara. Àwọn ọmọ aládé àti wá wà destitute. Ẹlòmíì nísìn kò ṣe pé kò ní kankan tó lè ṣe. But because the system has crumbled him and her, and they are destitute. They are not destitute now. You see on your TikTok. Because how will a normal person, a sane person, open their breast on a TikTok? Destitute. That is what the society has done, and that is why we want Nigeria to thrive. And we have become beggars. Morning beggars, night beggars. And some people are not concerned and worried. Then your Baba concerned, we are worried. We can't continue like that. Yoruba tó kí n tọrọ jẹ àti wá ń tọrọ jẹ. Ṣàtẹ̀mí mọ́lẹ̀ kó fún mi ní kankan kó má lọ. From every part of Yoruba land today, destitute, beggars all over the place. A German scholar, Professor AdeBanji, who lived for many years in Yoruba land in the 1950s and 1960s, wrote later that in all those years, he never saw any Yoruba destitute or beggars in the street. Mo kẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi mo ti pè yín náà lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo rí gbogbo village. Mo ti wá àwọn ìbò kọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn ìbò ńláńlá tí mo fẹ́ lò. Sí lórí ètò. Then ṣiṣẹ́ ní weekend. Mo ti miss gbogbo yín. Koikimedia, in 8th February 2025 from Africa. In the 1950s and 60s, kò sí beggar nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Òyìnbó tó wá níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn tó ń pè ní Professor AdeBanji. Ó ní, while I was in that Yoruba land, because as at that time there was no Nigeria, kò sí destitute. So what changed? What happened? What transformed? But gradually, since 1960, Tagba independence, the Lori Buruku country turned our people to destitute. Because we are all alien. Everybody wants the cup of tea. Cake, national cake. Steal what you can steal and don't invest back in the country. But gradually since 1960, unfortunately, very sad, pathetic, Yoruba people have become poorer and poorer. In Tumpan Lekun. So I'm like Nottingham. Now Akintoye.8th. Okay. And it's Nottingham here. Very good. It's a relation on here. Woolish yẹn dẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ dùn mọ́ mi lẹ́nu dáadáa. Mayor of Nottingham ni màmá pè yín nísìn. Mayor of Nottingham. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa. Àwọn ti gbowó ṣe. Àwa ìran ọmọ aládé. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni máa ń pa mí tá a bá sọ pé àwa ìran ọmọ aládé. Assure pé statement yẹn ṣe right. I don't think it's the right statement for now until tá a bá gba country wa. I don't think we should be using that statement. When they are destitute beggars across Yoruba land today. Yoruba people have become poorer and poorer. There have been more and more Yoruba beggars. At first, these were the physically or mentally challenged. Ẹni tó ní àrùn ọpọlọ la máa rò pé bóyá àwọn nìkan ló ń tọrọ lójú títì. Ẹ wá realize pé ẹni tó normal torí ẹ pé á súnmọ́ yín báyìí ẹ máa wọ́ndà pé láti bò síbò. mo kéèyàn wọ́n ní Yorùbá have become poorer wọ́n tún wá tún sọ pé poorer lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Tẹ́lẹ̀ a máa ń rò pé àwọn tó ní mental challenge Allen Conde ni we are slaves in Yoruba land ọ̀rọ̀ tó dání. Some of you think that because some of us are a bit lucky ìwé ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ èyí tó ń báyàn ló jẹ́ ni èyí tó ń pààyàn lẹ́kún òun ni mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí kò dá rárá. àwa wí tán Buhari sọ pé lánàá pé during his tenure security was okay, economy was okay. Adẹ̀ni ká jáde ká dìde bí ọmọ warrior gidi ká dìde tán inú ẹlòmíì la tún bẹ̀rù pé ó fi wá lẹ̀ báyìí Koiki ká máa bẹ Ọlọ́run ẹrù pọ̀ Ọlọ́run stupid ní Ọlọ́run stupid. Ọlọ́run tó fún wa ní ọpọlọ ju gbogbo wọn lọ àwa la ní ọpọlọ ju gbogbo wọn lọ wọ́n dẹ̀ mọ̀ ìyẹn la ṣe ń fi ọpọlọ la fi ń tò tá a bá fi sọ di ìjà àti sọ kíní ìdíjà ti pẹ́ a fi sọ di ìjà nítorí pé a rí pé kò wọ́tẹ̀ tó di ìjà even though pé mo máa ń pariwo bí ogun ní gbogbo ìgbà ẹrù pọ̀ wọ́n mi pé ká ja ogun ni but àwọn tá à ń bá deal kò ń ṣe Nigerians nìkan foreigner wà lára àwọn tó fẹ́ yẹ kí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kó mì so better ká fa anybody lẹ́pọ̀n ya ká yẹ ẹ̀pọ̀n wọn sí wẹ́wẹ́ kọ́ mọ̀ pé wèrè ni wá pé àwọn bá wèrè làwọn ọmọ yìí o kọ́ máa rí wa báyìí kọ́ máa bẹ̀rù pé àwọn Yorùbá lẹ́yìn bá ṣe kí nìyẹn ká lé wọn léré. kò bàbá Akintoye ní pé má ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn mọ́ mi in tí mo gbé lọ fún bàbá Akintoye ní 2021 àti Ìgbòho tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n jẹ́ ká ṣe ni in tí wọ́n gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ la máa wà rí sí nígbà tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ pé báyìí bàbá yẹn pè mí jókòó pé no ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn Koiki a máa gba Yorùbá nation non-violent 2021 lèmi ti gbọ́rọ̀ lọ bá wọn pé báyìí ní ká ṣọṣe tó bá máa gbà ní kọ́gbà wọn ní ṣoríire ní láti sọ tí mo sọ fún ọ lórí social media èmi ti tátán láti 2021 but bàbá yẹn ní ọpọlọ mo wá ṣe rí létà ọba ti pè wá ní terrorist lóòótọ́ bọ́tá bá pè wá náà ní terrorist á padà di èèyàn náà ní pé Mandela ní terrorist ni bọ̀bọ̀ tí ó jà tó gba Syria lẹ́ẹ̀mísìn Jalani ó lọ sí Saudi Arabia níjọ́ òní ìtọ́ protected ilẹ̀ America ti ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo ìlú ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn he was once called kódà he was a wanted American wa bọ̀bọ̀ tó ń lead wọn ní Syria nísìn ni mò ń sọ but wọ́n ní Yorùbá adákẹ́májà àwọn kan wò báyìí nísìn pé wọ́n fẹ́ wo bí tí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn fẹ́ gbà wọ́n máa dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí but wọ́n fẹ́ wo bóyá àwa gan ní àyà ẹ̀ pé tẹ bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ èèyàn ọmọ yẹn gbé jáde kárí yín ká tẹ̀lé yín àwọn sójà kan wà kan dúró pé a fẹ́ mọ̀ bí ẹ ní àyà ẹ̀ àbẹ́ kan dánra lórí social media but nígbà tí ìbẹ̀rù fẹ́ pa wá ikú ò tí ì dé àti ń bẹ̀rù and we have poorer and poorer ṣẹwà ok Tinubu is there a mọ̀ pé Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ kí ló dé títí Tinubu ti border mọ́ wa why did Tinubu close the border on us kí la ṣe fún Tinubu ok kò fẹ́ Yorùbá country ok agree but why close the borders ẹ ṣí border lẹ̀ káwọn èèyàn gbóúnjẹ wọlé náà ebi ń pa wọn yàn ẹ ṣí border káwọn èèyàn gbóúnjẹ wọlé kẹ̀dẹ̀ tax wọn simple kò ń ṣe ètí custom máa lọ máa ṣí rice àwọn èèyàn kan ti gbé wọnú Abẹ́òkúta stop wọn ní border tẹ wá lọ sínú shop wọn l'Abẹ́òkúta lọ máa bà shop wọn jẹ́ máa lọ gbé rice ṣé Tinubu ni president ṣá sometimes I keep asking myself ṣé Tinubu ni president wa because expectation ni pé tá a bá tẹ agree pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ó jẹ́ kí nǹkan rọrùn díẹ̀ náà ṣé nǹkan wá rọrùn nígbà tí Tinubu ti dé ìjọba nísìn ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ òtítọ́ fúnra wa ṣèbó yẹ kí ilé ayé àwa Yorùbá ṣèbó yẹ kó favour àwa díẹ̀ ní kátẹ́ òkè kò ṣí àkáǹtì Ìgbòho ó ní kí Ìgbòho má wálé kò tó yẹ kí ayé wa bẹ́tà díẹ̀ ó yẹ ká mọ̀ ó yẹ ká ní bàtì pé ọmọ Yorùbá ló wà lórí oyè nídìí láti lọ kanlẹ̀kùn láti lọ máa wá Tinubu kó fún wa ní contract kó fún wa just make things to be flushable for the Yoruba people. Àwọn kan ní ẹ tó bá lọ ṣe second round ló ṣe máa ṣe yẹn. And we sit down àwọn tó dẹ̀ ní tó wà knowledgeable wọ́n ní bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ mo láì bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìran lọ sí sọ pé àwọn láì bí Ìgbòho ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó ti lè sọ̀rọ̀ jù kò lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kò ń ṣe ọmọlúàbí ṣé ìyàn ń jàjà báyìí ọmọlúàbí máa gbogbo ọmọlúàbí máa wà nú ẹ̀ ṣé àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbàlagbà àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ọmọlúàbí fáwa káwọn máa béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ táwa ń béèrè on our behalf ṣé mi ló yẹ kí mi máa pariwo lójoojúmọ́ tí kábíyèsí Ọ̀ọ̀ni bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ dá dúró ó ti ṣe the bigger picture of it for us everybody dákẹ́ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ṣé mi ni máa jàǹfààní ẹ̀ ṣé mi nìkan ni máa jàǹfààní ẹ̀ tá bá gba Yorùbá kan ṣé mi nìkan ni mo fi jàǹfààní ẹ̀ àbí mi ni máa di president yìí tí Bísí Àkàndé bá jáde tó sọ pé a fẹ́ gba country ṣó pọ̀ jù fún lẹ́nu ẹ̀ tó ń sọ fún wa nísìnyí pé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ló pa Bọ́lá Ìgè ta ni gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó pa Bọ́lá Ìgè ṣèbí during Ọbásanjọ́ ni Bọ́lá Ìgè kú chief justice so ta ni gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Ọbásanjọ́ nìyẹn náà àbí ó ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ló pa Bọ́lá Ìgè ṣé gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì Buhari ló pa Bọ́lá Ìgè ni àwọn bàbá ìkà àwọn bàbá ilẹ̀ wa ní káwà máa fún ní respect gbogbo wọn mọ̀ òtítọ́ àwọn ti nílé tó ń gbé wọ́n ní extra code tó ń fún wọn wọ́n lè travel lọ ṣe treatment ẹsẹ̀ bá dùn wọn nísìn orí bá fọ́ wọn nísìn tó bá ti gba treatment ṣukúṣukú nínú Nàìjíríà wá wọ plane wọ́n sá lọ nìyẹn àwa ń jìyà lórí ilẹ̀ wa ẹ wá sọ fún wa pé àwọn ọmọ yẹn ariwo yín ti pọ̀ jù kí ló dé at first these were physically or mentally challenged but over the recent decades increasing numbers of Yoruba physically and mentally healthy and firm have ended up as beggars. Wọ́n wá ní nígbà tí Professor ORILEEDE wrote that nígbà tó padà wá sí a brief visit to Nigeria ẹni tó wá ní 1950 ó wá padà wá ní 1986 pé kóun tẹ̀ tí wá wọlé Yorùbá bóyá ẹ ti di Hong Kong ẹ ti di US ẹ ti di London ẹja wo tó bá bọ̀ nígbà tó wá ní 1986 ẹni tó sọ fún wa ní 1950 pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá land tó ń wá tó kọ́ pé kò sí beggars ó wá ní 1986 after a long absence from Nigeria he saw some Yoruba beggars women who were perfectly healthy àwọn tó yà wèrè ẹni tó wà healthy ó ń tọrọ owó nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni. Sadly, he noted in his diary, the life of Yoruba society has crumbled. You know that, I know that. Kò séye dọ́là tẹ́ bá fún àwọn èèyàn nílé tó máa ràn wọ́n. The society has crumbled. The system is not working and it's a deliberate act. And it's not Tinubu that destroyed it. It has been destroyed by the Europeans for a very long time. Tinubu gan ọba kankan nígbà tí Buhari máa fi lọ olórí burúkú bomb bastard ṣe bàbá kò ní kú sí táṣù ẹ wà. The life of the Yoruba people has been crumbling more and more since then. Today, Leni, the street of Yoruba cities, Alimanjiri Lamari, Bambiala, Alala, Bambi, I want to add the Bambiala. And everybody is now trying to be an NGO. Doing very well, don't get me wrong. Money Koku Foundation ò tí di Ìjẹ̀bú Òde ẹ bá ń sọ fún. Gbogbo charity tó ń ṣe kò tí di Ìjẹ̀bú Òde. Adé láwọn arúgbó tó ń bẹ ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde tó ti kú sínú ilé. Ebi ń pa wọ́n. Because Cocoa Foundation is not a government. It's an NGO. Ibi tó bá dẹ̀ fi ṣe sí ló máa ṣe sí. Ó yá, màmá, ẹ mú noodles méjì bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ má mú ju méjì lọ, méjì ní kẹ́ mú, èrò pọ́ńta. Ó yá, ẹ mú òróró ẹyọ kan. Ìbá fún yín ní gàrí ní last week, ṣé gàrí yẹn ti tán? Ẹ wò lé ayé ọmọ Yorùbá. Àwọn Dangote àwa gbé product fún wọn. Ó yá, Cocoa, come and take sardine because you are doing very well. Ẹ wo bó ṣe bà ayé wa jẹ́. Ṣé mọ̀ pé lòmíì ó ti lazy débi pé 2,000 yẹn ó prefer kó gba 2,000 lọ́wọ́ yín. Wọ́n ní yẹn lọ ṣe ní OP account yẹn. Nígbà tí mo ṣe OP account yẹn, wọ́n ní wọ́n fi ń gbowó ńlá bí 2,000. Ẹ sáré send 3,000 sí mi. OP to OP. So kọ́ má bàa já 50 naira kúrò lára ẹwu bí tí ilé ayé wa rí. No, ṣerú life yẹn làwa fẹ́ máa la fẹ́ wà. Ó tẹ̀yìn lọ́rùn. Ẹ kò tá wa lọ́rùn ni. Alekonde ni our thinking is not normal. Kò dẹ̀ normal lóòótọ́. And we can't blame ourselves. But a máa bà stupid nígbà tá a ti gbọ́ nísìn. Táwa tún jẹ́ pé káwọn ọmọ Gen Z kan gbọ́ ká tó jáde. No, nídà àwọn ọmọ Gen Z kan gbọ́. Àwa tá a bá ti gbọ́ náà ní ká jáde. Kò bá jáwa 1,000 tó bá ti lu aago ká jáde. Èyí náà máa wà níwájú. Àní wà lẹ́yìn agbára Ọlọ́run. Tó bá ti pè fún rally, mo ra ticket mo padà bọ̀ nílé. Kò sí nǹkan kan tí mo mú ní London. Kí ni mo ṣe London? Ariwo kí ni mo fẹ́ máa pa London tẹ́ ń ṣe rally nísàlẹ̀. Mo ra ticket mo padà bọ̀. Sọ fún pé journalists go with the story. Wọ́n ní kọ́ ìtàn lẹ Yorùbá tá a fẹ́ gbà yìí. Wọ́n ní kọ́ lẹ́yìn tèmi. Ojú mi ló máa kọ́. Láṣẹ ìmọ̀ràn. Today, lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, the streets of Yoruba cities are swarming with Yoruba beggars, healthy and infirm, among the enormous crowd of non-Yoruba people who are coming from their own land to beg in the streets of Yoruba city. Àwọn àlùmáńjìrì ló máa gbéra láti north. Tó bá ti dé, ara ẹ̀wà, ara bread, àlọ́pin fún wọn. Ọmọ Yorùbá nísìnyí náà ti wà láàrin wọn. Ẹ máa gbọ́ ẹ̀pin dọ́dọ̀ ti wà, ẹ máa wọ́n dà pé níbo síbo. Ẹ̀pin ọdọ́dọ̀ ti wà, àwa náà wà ń bíbà yìí. That is the damage that these politicians have done. Olórí burúkú làwọn politicians. Àwọn nísì tí wọ́n ti ń gbówó jọ, gbogbo owó tó ti tọ́jú pamọ́ sílé, wọ́n ṣe máa há owó. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti mọ grade olúkálukú. Ìwọ tó rò pé ó máa gbọ̀kadà lọ́wọ́ wọn, wọ́n ní fún ju 10,000 naira. Àwọn tó máa fún lọ́kadà, wọ́n ti mọ̀ wọ́n bí kọ́ máa gbọ̀kadà yẹn padà lọ́wọ́ wọn again. Ìyàlọ́ máa ní lè gún ọ̀kadà lọ sádùúgbò yìí. Àbí kọ́ fẹ́ àwọn èèyàn síbẹ̀ tó máa gba owó orí ọ̀kadà. Ọ̀tẹ̀ ní Fúlàní ti ń gba owó orí ọ̀kadà l'Abẹ́òkúta. Àmọ́ bí yẹn ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀, Fúlàní. Wọ́n náà Fúlàní ti ń já tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì l'Abẹ́òkúta. I'm not joking. Ẹ̀rù bá yé wá ṣe bàjẹ́. Fúlàní ń já tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ní Abẹ́òkúta. Adẹ̀ ń sùn. Today, the streets of Yoruba cities are swarming with Yoruba beggars, healthy and infirm, among the enormous crowd of non-Yoruba people who are coming from their own lands to beg in the streets of the Yoruba cities. When we have our own sovereign country separate from Nigeria, ibi tí yàtọ̀ máa ti wá lélẹ̀. Tàbá country wa. Province tí wọ́n bá ń tọrọ, tọmọ Yorùbá wà lójú títì tó ń tọrọ, gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ní province wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ resign. A jẹ́ pé wọ́n mọ tó ń ṣe nìyẹn. It has to be think Yoruba first. But why do we want to be thinking about the Igbos, the Hausas, the Fulanis, and the rest of the people that we don't know, that we are all aliens? In tán pè Yorùbá nation ni mo sọ yìí o. Fáǹfààní ẹ̀tẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé àmọ́ tán pè ní Yorùbá nation òun ni mo ń ṣáná àlàyé fún wa lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. When we have our sovereign country separate from Nigeria, this whole situation will quickly change. Quickly. Tó bá gbọ́ quickly. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ change. There must not be a Yoruba destitute beggars on the street in any part of our cities. But the more tabawa in Nigeria, emergency measures shall be instituted to get all Yoruba flocks away from the lives of begging in the street. Kódà tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n ṣàṣẹ pé kó máa beg ni, a máa tiẹ̀ mọ́lé, kò ní dójú tì wá. Because begging is not for us. Kò ń ṣe tiwa. Nigeria situation ló sọ everybody the beggars. And I keep telling ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní diaspora, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn tó wà nílé. Situation ni o. Because I remember my mom told me that àwọn tó wà ní Nigeria nígbà kan rí wọ́n máa ń send owó send tó wà labroad ni. I'm sure some of our parents or your parents or family friends have told you the same thing. Because àwọn ọmọ sí tèmi bàbá tèmi máa ń send owó sáwọn èèyàn labroad kó tó kú. Wọ́n máa share owó wá send it through whatever the means that wọ́n ń lò ní jọ́nà lọ́hùn. But condition Nigeria ó ti yí padà. So our diaspora our at edge $20 a ní kankan tó máa já nísàlẹ̀ tó bá tẹ̀ fún yàn $100 ó tún sanwó oṣù mẹ́ta fún, because the average Nigerian is getting 30,000 naira. Ṣé àwọn pẹ́lú mi lọ síbi iṣẹ́ ní Nigeria lé ní diaspora ṣì ń san salary fún, because wọ́n mọ̀ pé owó yẹn ò lè ká. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé owó yẹn ò lè ká. So most of us are paying people's salaries while we are still abroad. And thank you. And we are doing it because I think the diaspora ló subsidize ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Inú ẹ̀ la máa ní káwọn kan kọ́lé and subsidize yín láti create iṣẹ́. Inú ẹ̀ la máa ní kẹ́ ṣe this, inú ẹ̀ la máa ní àwọn tó wà nílé náà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmí Fátókí wà nílé. I've known him on this movement for the last 4 years. Mo náà máa ń send owó sí mi láti Nàìjíríà tí bá ní mo fẹ́ mu coffee, kò tẹ̀ fi gbọ́ pé mo fẹ́ mu coffee. Ó máa send náírà ní tó bá wù mí kí n fi ṣe lọ́hùn. But not everybody is comfortable. And many people that hold businesses, the businesses continue to dive down because the economic situation of Nigeria is shifting our businesses, especially the small scale businesses, with the exchange rate. Àdẹ̀mọ́ táwọn ìyàwó tó kù ṣe, àmà náwọn businessman, gbogbo alamọ̀ pé drug ló ń ṣe. Táwọn bá ti ra tó bá ti ṣe drug tán, wá fi gbé ẹrù wọlé. Definitely wá bà market jẹ́ fún wa náà. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fúnra wa pé òtítọ́ máa korò, but àwọn olóṣèlú mọ̀ pé the right thing là ń sọ, kò tẹ̀ jẹ́ kí anybody máa sọ̀rọ̀. We are preparing for any election again. We should be discussing about the dividing of Nigeria so that we can all go out and decide what constitution we are going to use, what kind of government we are going to use. Not anybody telling us to continue to use a fake constitution put together and expecting anything to come out of it. Because we know that nothing will come out from this fraudulent constitution that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently using. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́n tí Senator, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Akpakoba, ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ.
Put his best foot forward
Okay.
to govern the country.
Okay.
If he does that, in 4 years, he can turn things around. But there's certain critical things he would need to do.
Kí ló máa ṣe?
The first thing is to say, what's the constitution?
Okay.
If, for instance, me and my wife Lillian don't agree in our marriage of 45 years, then we can't do anything. So the first thing that President Tinubu will need to do is to ensure that Nigerians all agree to be one country.
We
You recall that Bonegi asked those two questions.
No.
Do we want to be one?
Do we want to be one? We need to first agree. You can't be telling people, oh no, you have to be one. No, we need to agree. I gotta agree. We might not have agreed in 25 years ago, but now we need to agree. Do we want to be one? Do I want to live with the Igbo people? inside one Nigeria? Do I want to live with Hausa people inside one Nigeria? The answer is no. I don't want to live with them. I want them to be our neighbors. I want them to be our neighbors, but I don't want to live with them. And if they're going to live with us, I need to know the kind of people that they are. So why are we living in denial? We know the truth, but we are waiting for one governor to come and tell you that this is how it's going to happen. You think they care about your lives. Most of them now, Saturday, lost from Lagos club to Abuja club to this and that. Do we want to be one? This is a pertinent question that needs to be asked. Put the question out, do we want to be one? Because we are not one. Mind you, we are not one. We are not one, and we can never be one. And you cannot pray that we should be one. Oloshi. Praying that we are going to be one. Bones okay. Agbakoba.
Not by force.
It's not by force.
If we want to be one, how?
How? We haven't answered that question.
Which is why I told President
Fabio Lori Brukoli.
it has taken 23 years
How can it take 23 years to solve the Constitution?
I urged him in conjunction with President Tinubu.
Okay. They are not going to resolve it because the majority are the Northerners in the Senate and the House.
Nigeria. The owners of Nigeria, mark you, were those who owned Nigeria before local authorities amalgamation in Nigeria.
The owner of Nigeria are Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Nibo ni Fulani today. One nílẹ̀ ni. And they are ready to die to take your land. So some of you are thinking that, oh, they are making this up. They hate Fulani people, Oloshi. They are ready to die to take that land because they believe that the land is their own. Allah has given them the land. So I pity Yoruba people. I'm not going to get involved in this. Ṣé Yorùbá nation yẹn ṣe Yorùbá nation yìí ó dẹ̀ kọ́lé sí Nàìjíríà Fúlàní ló kọ́lé tì lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Fúlàní tó máa pa tó bá ti sùn. I pity you, but ní fi ti yín ṣe tó dábàá fi ti yín ṣe ní àní lọ anywhere. If we hold on to some of you ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ dá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ẹ máa fi ti yín kó bá gbogbo àwa tó kù. Millions of people will suffer because we're already suffering. The owners before this Lugard and Flora Shaw Lori Buruku came and gave us what is not our own.
Call them in. These are the people who own the country and ask them questions. What do you want to see of the Constitution? Because without the Constitution, we're going nowhere. And no one will doubt the fact that the Constitution bequeathed by the military in 1999 is unsatisfactory. You can't build anything out of a weak foundation. The economic development policy of political development policy of President Tinubu, anything else he wants to do rests on a very solid foundation. So let him immediately resolve that. How can we spend 23 years looking for a foundation for building a house? Does that make sense to anybody?
It doesn't make sense.
So that's my number one issue. We need to resolve this issue of, do we want to be one? And mark you, the flip side of the question.
We don't have to be one. I love that. We must be one. In Jesus' name, we'll be one. Money, stop calling Jesus. Because they didn't consult Jesus when they were putting Nigeria together. It's a business venture. Royal Niger business venture. So if you call Jesus, I will slap your face. Call Jesus. You think Jesus is as stupid as you, as your stupidity. Olushi. You're waiting for the man of God to tell us Nigeria must break. They've already told us, we don't need all of them. Bàbá má sunkún wọn ti sọ fún wa pé Nàìjíríà máa bí. Prophet Adebayo ti sọ fún wa. Prophet Nasirullah ti sọ fún wa. Prophet Mayowa ti sọ fún wa. Tibetan ti sọ fún wa. Bàbá CAC yẹn tó ní ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń ṣàn lára flag. So kí la tó ń dúró dè? A ṣe ń dúró dè Bàbá Adébóyè. So you want us to wait for Baba Adeboye to give us all clearance and Nigeria will break and Yadura. I say I will keep calling those two names. Àwọn méjèèjì ni máa pè lójoojúmọ́ until they come out and tell us what God is showing them about Nigeria. Because àwọn nìkan lọ́lọ́run tí show in tí Nigeria mean fún wa. Because àwọn tó kù tọ́lọ́run fi nǹkan wọn, àmọ́ bọ́lọ́run ṣe fi nǹkan wọn àwọn. They kept quiet to protect their own interest. The flip side is we don't have to be one. The flip side is ní láti jẹ́ ẹyẹ kan. Nigeria ń ṣe ìlú ẹyẹ kan. Ìlú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ènìyàn ló ń bẹ nínú ẹ̀. If we like break to 10 countries, who give a damn? Because you hear him say it now. Yugoslavia break. Heaven did not fall down. Nigeria will break. Yes, look at me very well. It will break. Tinubu cannot stop it. America cannot stop it. UK cannot stop it. So if you think that is about me, it's not about me. It is the will of God that Nigeria will break. And the will of the gods of Yoruba land that Nigeria will break. Oni of Ife cannot stop it. The new Alaafin cannot stop it. Yes, look at my face. Nigeria will break. Like it, hate it, Nigeria is at the verge of breakup. Do you know what I mean? It's at the verge. V-E-R-G-E. It is shaking. It is shaking. Sitting on the keg of gunpowder. And the time is now. Like I said with Alice in that film Netflix. Take the opportunity and run with it. You waste that opportunity, another 4 years, Tinubu will be running the show. And after 4 years, we don't know what can happen in 2031. It might be too late. And this year, astrologically, this 2025, a lot of changes is going to happen from October. March, October, this year astrologically. Go and watch it. Go back. You don't have to believe in astrology, but go and study this 2025. It means a lot. So what will be so these people, they're still on this their Yoruba nation. Yoruba. We will not be on it. You think I am Daya or Israel that turned himself to a Fulani man in the broad daylight? Don't be Fulani. Some Fulani alone. Wait. Abi? You think those ones that care? The flip side is we don't have to be one. Bones okay. Yugoslavia, which was 6 countries under Mashitito, decided to break apart. Macedonia, Slovenia, Croatia, Slovakia, they're all doing well. There is no circumstances that Nigeria has to be a one country. Idiots. One country. Oh, you want Peter Obi to come and chop and become nepotism like Tinubu? No, we don't need that. Let Peter Obi join Biafra. Let him talk about Nnamdi Kanu release Oloshi. Olori Buruku Peter Obi Igbo. Kept quiet. Nnamdi Kanu has been kept in the prison. Instead of him to be tackling Tinubu every day, talking about Nnamdi Kanu, he'll be talking about the economic situation of Nigeria. Which economy? Economy that is dead. Nnamdi Kanu kò sọ̀rọ̀. Ó dákẹ́ ṣoṣo bí ẹran rí rẹ̀ sí. Àwọn obedient olórí burúkú ẹ̀ ní ṣoríire gbogbo yín pátápátá. Ẹ fi gba Lagos mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Ẹ wá gbà. Ẹ má lọ bọ́ abẹ́ṣe máa gbalẹ̀ yín lọ́wọ́ Fúlàní. Ebonyi last week, Saturday, massacre people. Peter Obi is more concerned about fighting Tinubu. You think Tinubu cares about you? Ẹ máa dúpẹ́ tó ti tì ẹ́ mọ́lé dànù. Èyí tí wọ́n ń dúró pé kí Tinubu kí El-Rufai tó ń wá bó ṣe máa pa Tinubu bó ṣe wà yẹn. Ẹ lọ wọ El-Rufai àti gbélé sí ìbàjá rẹ̀ ká máa kọ́wọ́ tí ń romí. Ẹ lọ wọ El-Rufai àti kí nìyẹn jẹ́ olè tó ti jẹun lábẹ́ Jonathan tó tó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ di motivational lórí Twitter. Kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ fún mi lórúkọ Ọlákúnlé, bọ̀bọ̀ tó wà lórí Twitter yẹn máa lè tó ti jẹun yó bákúbákú. Tako El-Rufai, El-Rufai the short man devil tí wọ́n fi El-Rufai joyè ní Ìjẹ̀bú Òde wa ń bẹ̀, Àwùjalẹ̀ wa, bàbá dáadáa. Àmọ́ tó sọ fún bàbá yẹn, àmọ́ bí Tinubu ló bá bàbá sọ̀rọ̀ ni, tó fi El-Rufai tó ń pààyàn àwọn olórí burúkú tó fi pa Bọ́lá Ìgè, Reno ẹ̀ṣẹ́jàre, El-Rufai àti Reno ẹlẹ́wọ̀n tó ń tọwọ́ bọ̀. The flip side is we don't have to be one. Must we be one? No, I'm asking you where you disagree with us. We must be one. Mo mọ̀ ẹ́rí. Fi Yorùbá tó sọ pé òun ò fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, òun ò fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, olórí burúkú nìyẹn. Torí èmi ò mọ ọmọ Yorùbá kan tó máa wà láyé tá à ń pariwo Yorùbá nation tó sọ pé òun ò fẹ́. Olóṣìmá ni Rotimi Amechi, kò tẹ̀ ṣe Rotimi Amechi, Reno Ọmọkèrè ni mo tẹ̀ ń sọ, Rotimi Amechi ti sọ̀rọ̀, ó ní Nigerians we are stupid people, you are meant to stone us to death. That's what Rotimi Amechi said. The flip side is we don't have to be one. There's no word that says we have to be one. No, it's okay.
I personally want to wish for Nigeria.
I don't wish for Nigeria anymore.
But we must agree.
We must agree.
That is the problem. Because we have not agreed.
Because we have not agreed. That is why there is this Shomoyori. If we agree now, you will realize that everybody will be better off. But when we don't want to agree and we come on Twitter, you abuse Yoruba people, Yoruba will abuse you as well. It's because we have not agreed. Because as in one Nigeria need. So that we can know who is committing crime among us outside. If it's Igbo that is committing crime, we will know. If it's Yoruba, if it's Hausa, if it's whoever. We sit on TikTok, we sit on Twitter, we sit on Facebook, on Instagram, we are abusing each other. You think politicians cares? They don't care. Politicians are happy. Come on, Kebi Mori Wike to Loki Seyi Makinde. The same Wike that destabilized PDP at the last election. That's why Tinubu was able to give him position as the FCT minister. You think Wike cares? You think these politicians have sympathy? They don't have human sympathy. They are animals. So our more the right thing. Don't tell me about leadership. Which leadership are you looking for in Nigeria? Ole. You are looking for leadership in Nigeria. One of them our suit. Ori gbogbo àwọn motivational speaker. Fẹlá dúró tó yẹ ọtí fún ọ̀nà ní position ó ti dákẹ́ nísìn sham àgbọn kankan mọ́. Nàìjíríà tó bá ti pariwo nyá wọ́n ti fún ní kankan sham ó dákẹ́. The motivational speaker lọ́sàn gan. Àwọn olè bàráwò bansani ṣègè olè ìṣẹ́wò onyára ọ̀tá àkàrà ọ̀tá mọ́ínmọ́ín àwọn máàlì. We save Nigeria for your father. Abẹ́ ò lè ṣorí ẹni sọ. Bomb bastard all over the place. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé ìyà ń jẹ̀ràn wa, arúgbó ń jìyà, tálákà wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, ìyẹn ọkàn yìí. Ẹjá apá gbóbà sílẹ̀ ẹni tí mo fẹ́ lò mo ti lò ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n ní when we have our sovereign country called Yoruba nation, the whole situation will change quickly. Emergency measures have been instituted to get all Yoruba folks away from the lives of begging in the street. And then within a few years, the general revival of our businesses and general prosperity of our economy will take full care of the situation concerning the massive crowds of beggars from other countries. Just like Trump is doing. We will load them back and take them back to their land. Go and tell Trump that what he's doing is wrong. We shall institute measures to get them returned in a calm manner to their countries. We deport them back. We don't need beggars in our life. Beyond these, we shall now evolve social welfare policy. That is what people are living on, especially in the UK. America is a different system. social welfare. It's quite expensive, but that is the system that is used currently in the United Kingdom. Everyone is well taken care of, apart from foreigners, especially those that COS and all these new visa scheme system. And if you're a student, you cannot apply for any benefit in the United Kingdom. And that's exactly what Kemi Badenoch is even adding more. Is adding salt to the problem. Just as we were listening earlier when she was talking.
Do something about it.
Do something about
To
it.
reduce immigration and make living here actually mean something.
It says living in the UK must mean something to you. And on that note, we will leave it like that. I'll open the phone line for 5, 10, 20 minutes. If otherwise, I will wind down because I've got a long day ahead of me. Moki Bubu Alen Konsi, you have been listening to Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps on the Saturday, the 8th of February 2025 from the Mother Africa, where we are currently right now before we return back to Europe. Moki Professor AdeBanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba nation, and as it says in this document, the good news path to prosperity in our ORILEEDE Yoruba. We've been looking into it and we are going to go back on it as we were doing. What we've just talked about is what we called, we shall take conscientious care of our weak citizens. Whatever the weak citizens are to you, we will take care of them. So the phone line will be open for anyone that wants to also add their own input. This is the opportunity for you. And we can also just engage briefly before we start winding down. This is also where I say thank you so much to all our listeners, especially when we call you and say support this platform and you are dipping your hands into it and making sure that our request, you cannot meet all my requests, but you're trying your best to say, Koiki, this is what we can give you. Our request was that we wanted a laptop, and few people, came through and helped us out. We've been able to raise the money. The laptop will be purchased hopefully by today. I'm going to send the money across. And if you're going to still help us, my account details in follow before I bring the person on Twitter space 3096808848 OLAYOMI KOIKI First Bank, or you can do whatever you can to help in your own little ways. Quickly, Mini Ventures, let me allow you to come through before maybe 1 or 2 calls will come through as well on the studio line here. If you don't know the studio number, for the benefit of those of you, studio number, Miri, remember you cannot call me direct. I'm not in the UK right now. I'm in Africa. Plus 44, and I'm specifically telling you I'm in Africa so that you know I'm in Africa. I'm not scared to say that. I am not those cowards that say, oh, I am not. I am in Africa presently until I return back to my base in London. Emioshi coward. I am not scared of anything. I am vigilant. I am not stupid, but I am not scared. Plus 44 74 044059117. Go ahead, Mini Venture on this Twitter space.
Yeah. Good afternoon. It's really one.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank God for today, and I really appreciate your effort in keeping this alive, keeping this great nation. There is this awareness. We are so happy for that. So I want you to just keep it up.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
like the way you are doing, gradually you'll be waking up to it. So on our own side, it's not going real. When you even need to talk about it, when they are drawing us back, we are not happy about it. But just keep on moving. When you are creating the awareness, people that understand what you are doing, people that know the reality. Because even where I am now, presently now, a lot of people, when they see script, Yoruba, when they said you are sorry to use the language, they say, this one a bastard. This one not this one what Nigeria. That was the comment they were making right here now that I'm here with your other people. They say, don't listen to this one again, this is a bastard. You wanted to divide the country, which is not possible. You don't know what is this, you don't what he knows, you don't know it.
Okay.
You only know. So thank you, God. Keep
We
on
give thanks.
keeping on.
We give thanks. Thank you. We appreciate. Thank you. Well, Kabare and Totufe, if not, I will just appreciate. Moki Babami, Mr. Sunday, I'll just use this opportunity to appreciate most of you. Alan Conde says, my wife asked me what happened to us in Yoruba land because in 1950, I want to read that. In 1950s, we used to borrow Western countries' money. That was then. We don't even have money to borrow ourselves. A lot of people cannot get even a basic loan to survive. So, and then sọ fún wa pé ẹrú ọmọ Ìgbòho ni wá, Ìgbòho là ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Yes, we are working for Ìgbòho. We are working for Ìgbòho. So, tí yẹn bá ń bí inú problem yìí nìyẹn. Let's go to one of our callers that is calling from the United Kingdom. Hello, caller.
Hello, Bob.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sir.
Ètò
ni ẹ sir.
Yes, sir. Mi ò ní ọ̀rọ̀ much láti sọ because àti dúró láti jẹ́ ìsìnkú kó ṣẹlẹ̀ náà là ń dúró dé because wọ́n ò fẹ́ peace mọ́ báyìí ṣe. So kọ́ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ kó tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ because ìlú ìkan ti sọ àwọn anyway àti ní táwọn ìbò náà yé ṣe. So kọ́ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní ìgbà wọn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ o because àwọn náà ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì àti máa bọ̀ nílé láti máa fèsì wọn because àwọn wa kú sí ìlú yìí. Ó ti yé yín.
Àgbọ̀yé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi.
So message tẹ́kọ̀ máa bá títà ní pé ìgbà wọn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ká open battlefield. Because wọ́n bí níbo nu irinṣẹ́ tó kó dání. Irinṣẹ́ ògùn dẹ̀ ni ògùn ló ní báde ládùúgbò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. So kọ́ fọ́ra ní heads up ni pé ó yá Yorùbá à ń bọ̀ lọ́la o à ń bọ̀ lẹ́ni o. Àwa náà ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì náà anyway because àwọn ti wá nílé wọ́n ti látọdún yìí wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́ pé Yorùbá nation gbogbo wọn ṣàǹṣe tiwọn ó ti ká everybody wọn báyìí sí gbogbo báwọn náà ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì àwa dẹ̀ ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì ti pẹ́ nínú òyìnbó àti rẹ́ẹ̀dì ti pẹ́ àìsàn yẹn lọ àwọn pẹ́sìn máa fún wa wọ́n jẹ́ pé 1% nínú wọn lọ́ṣẹ́ 99% ń jayé wọn lọ.
mo dábẹ́ fi ṣàríà ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá.
àwọn abẹ́rẹ́ akọ̀wá ń lo òyìnbó ni à ń sùn à ń jí à ń jẹun.
Ọdẹ ń fi disease oríṣiríṣi sí wa lára àfikọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú wa nílùú òyìnbó.
Disease yẹn fún máa wọrí náà ṣe bọ́lọ̀ ló lẹ́mí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àwọn sọ́lẹ̀ dẹ́mi ni wọ́n lè dẹ́mi náà wọ́n lè fi ẹ̀mí wọ́n lè fi láìpẹ́ sínú èèyàn náà. So èmi tí mo yẹ wà èmi wà blunt mo sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́mi ọ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé
mo mẹ́ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀.
ẹ̀mí ọ̀ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ó kàn jẹ́ káwa wọ́n jẹ́ ká bọ̀ mọ̀ ní pé ó yà ọ́ Yorùbá ó yẹ máa bọ̀ ní battlefield àti rẹ́dì kọ́ máa wọlé wọ́n kó oríṣẹ́ wọn dání irinṣẹ́ ògùn ni.
Kò ní pẹ́ mọ́ àwọn alá nílẹ̀ wa so a ní láti bẹ̀rù anything ilẹ̀ wa ni so it's as simple as that.
bẹ̀rù ẹ̀gbọ́n èèyàn tó bá ń bẹ̀rù á jẹ́ pé ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni.
Ilẹ̀ wa ni so it's nothing to be scared of.
Bẹ̀rù anything kọ́ wọlé fún wa kó ká mọ̀kọ́ tó ọwọ́ tá a wà báyìí sí any die na die gbogbo ọlọmọkùnrin kú àwọn òdẹ̀lẹ̀ kú wọn bí kò ṣe yíyí báwa kó lè máa ròyìn iṣẹ́ Olúwa lè kú ikú ọ̀pẹ̀ta lójú náà àwọn lè kú ikú ọ̀gbọ̀nsẹ̀ ẹjọ́ púpọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ máa pass message yẹn fún wọn out mọ́ ìgbà ọlọ́fẹ́ rẹ́ẹ̀dì kọ́tà wá ti rẹ́ẹ̀dì. Ẹ bá sọ̀rọ̀ fáwọn ọmọ àlè Yorùbá tí wọ́n ti dẹ́kun ọmọ owó ìwọ̀n wọ́n ṣe sùn ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ fún ọmọ.
Àgbọ̀yé sà.
Àwa tá ti rẹ́dì tá a rẹ́dì àti jà fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa.
Àgbọ̀yé sà.
Tí wọ́n dẹ̀ wọ́n bí anybody dá wọ́n bí anybody dá.
Àgbọ̀yé sà.
Ta ló jẹ́ jam ta ló jẹ́ kí ló jẹ́ kí jam ta ló jẹ́ jam. Nílùú wọn bíbá ìta wà ní.
Orílẹ̀ wa làwa ti fẹ́ bèrè níta fẹ́ bèrè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni a fẹ́ ṣeré ni orílẹ̀ wa dẹ̀ ni orílẹ̀ wa dẹ̀ láti fẹ́ ṣeré.
bàbá lè ṣeré a lè ó lè jóró
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
wọ́n ṣe festival wọ́n ṣe ọdún ikú
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
abẹ́ ṣeré ní báyìí ní láti ẹ̀bẹ́ ṣe àbọ̀bẹ́ ṣeré pọ̀pọ̀tẹ́ ká kọ́ síwálẹ̀ àwọn tẹ̀lé ọwọ́ ló kù sí báyìí sí ọwọ́ fúlàní ló kù sí báyìí sí gbogbo nǹkan tí ó ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbàáyé báyìí sí tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti yẹ kù ti ti dànù àwọn ti wà ti pẹ́ àwọn ti dúró láti jọ ìlú gbogbo ẹ̀ ìlú bí wá sí lọ́pẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ìlú yẹn ó ti dàrú ti pẹ́ ó ti dàrú ti pẹ́ àwọn akọ̀ wà fortunate láti wà láìpẹ́ a lè tún wà láìpẹ́ ọlọ́run tún wá kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀ láti wá sí lókòtè láti wá sí wọ́n tún ti tó yé lọ àbí mò ń tọ́ a lè ti mò ń tọ́ báyìí sí ẹ ẹni ẹ̀kọ́ kẹ́kẹ́ mọ wá sí bàbá ẹ̀ ọ̀sà wọ́n ti lé yòó sí wa ti pẹ́.
tó ń ṣe kékeré.
wọ́n jẹ́ ká mọ scott báyìí sí àwọn ọlọ́mẹjà àwọn òǹgbẹ́jà.
àwọ̀ tẹ̀ ń jà àwọ̀ tẹ̀ ń jà oòrùn ló fi jáde.
ẹ̀gbọ́n tí mo sọ
àfẹ́ ṣeré ni a máa gbélù síta. ẹ ṣe jẹ́ mi ọ̀rọ̀ brother mi. ìgbóyé àgbọ́yé 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 ó kù díẹ̀ ìlú oríṣiríṣi adé máa tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn because I need àwọn ìlú ẹmọ̀ fún àwọn ìlú yẹn àwọn bàtà oríṣiríṣi ìlú àti ṣẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ a máa lọ sẹpẹsẹpẹ aṣẹ́dùmarè.
ẹ̀gbọ́n mi gbogbo ẹ̀ ló máa jáde wọ́n kò fọ́ wa ní pé ó yà ọ̀la ẹja ti sí bá tuntun.
ọdún yìí náà ni kò ní í ṣe ọdún tó ń bọ̀ ọdún yìí ni wàláhì ẹ jẹ́ ká sin òkú tán òkú yẹn náà mọ́ǹtì náà ni gbogbo ẹ̀ so gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ti súnmọ́ ẹ má ẹ̀ka tún sọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ẹ ṣé gan ni brother mi ẹ bá ń kí àwọn ará ilé lọ́rùn ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you so much mo dúpẹ́ mo kí gbogbo wa mo kí gbogbo brother mi mo kí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó mọ ìwúlò ìtàn pè ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá because ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ilẹ̀ tó dá fún gbogbo wa ni tẹ̀bá pè wá ní ọmọ àlè Yorùbá it's okay but at least ọmọ àlè Yorùbá tó nígbà kí àjòjì kó gbalẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ òun là wá so tabashire tó fi pè +44 74 044 05917 if not let's start appreciating ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti comment sẹ́yìn àfojúpayín rẹ Mr. Jami wọ́n ní good morning Mr. Koiki mo náà good morning Ọlá Káyọ̀dé ní akó ojúmọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mi tẹ̀ tí rí kókò mú dáadáa kókò tí wọ́n máa mú tára yẹn máa jáde jagajaga báyìí mo kí Prince Adébáyọ̀ Shitu mo kí yan akó ojúmọ́ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ ní Qatar mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bẹ ní United Arab Emirates mo kí Yorùbá World Media mo kí Home Based Media mo kí chairwoman wa Dr. Zabi mo kí Olówólabí Emmanuel mo kí yan ẹni happy weekend báwo lọ́dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn ṣé kò pọ̀jù ní wẹ́dà lọ́hùn-ún Mr. Akínládé Akíndéméjì mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ dárúkọ yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ wa ẹ máa bá wa share program. Your family will always be against you. Why are you sharing this? Why are you part of Yoruba Nation? Tell them you are Ọmọ Yorùbá. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Kò yé àwọn ni pé Fúlàní ti wà lẹ́nu ọ̀nà. Bàbá mi tí ó dá sí Ṣógbuyì mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ mo fi dárúkọ yín gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń náwó pé Koiki àwọn ò ní kankan ju pé ká máa fàdúrà tiẹ̀ torí pé ìtẹ́gbẹ́dání Ọlọ́run nìkan ló ní ààbò ó dẹ̀ máa fi ààbò ẹ̀ṣọ́ ẹ bó ṣe ń lọ bó ṣe ń bọ̀ Ramon King Ọláṣẹ́bì kan mo kí yín dáadáa mo kí bàbá mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ṣógbuyì wọ́n ní long live Igboho my support is with Olóyè Igboho I agree with his right to express himself èèyàn wà ní that situation for 3 years mo kí ẹ àrólé Odùduwà mo kí bàbá mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ṣógbuyì mo fojú pa gbogbo yín rẹ pátá we need Yoruba land and we need it now bàbá mi Tèmídayọ̀ Dennis Omitogun ní Yorùbá tẹ máa ń kọ ilé ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan kó má lọ kọ́ mi lẹ́nu náà ni ẹ ṣáà ní Yorùbá nation no going back mo kí àmì Stella Ṣódẹ́yìndé Bàyáwá Fatusi Elizabeth mo ti kí yín mo máa kí brọ́dà mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Alhaji Adéyẹmí mo rí brọ́dà yẹn mọ̀ ọjọ́ báyìí àwọn tí wọ́n ń jó báyìí wọ́n ń lọ báyìí ọmọ ìjẹ́mi náà ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn skit kéékèèké báyìí. Mo kí brother mi, thank you so much. Ìfẹ́ tí brother yìí ní sí Ìgbòho kò ṣe kékeré. Yàwá Dúpẹ́ Agboola, ẹ ṣé ẹ kú ìnáwó àná. Ọmọ yín a máa rán wọn ní laptop yẹn, wọ́n máa lọ rà lénìí. We were able to raise, exact amount of what we need. Change tó bá dẹ̀ kù náà, a tún máa já síbí já sọ́hùn. But at least the laptop we purchased today. Mo kí Mr. Joshua Santra Koko, mo kí ẹ Santra Koko, mo kí bàbá mi Akintoye.8th Adébáyọ̀, bàbá yẹn máa ń jókòó báyìí ni, ẹlòmíì èmi ò lè tí mu kọ́fì láàárọ̀ yìí, àwọn tó máa bá ń ṣe kọ́fì wọ́n sì ń sùn. Ìlú òyìnbó àti máa mu kọ́fì, ti mí sí kọ́fì mi, so mo gbọ́dọ̀ mu kọ́fì o, àdẹ̀ní láti lọ ká lọ tún yọ shape wa láàárọ̀. Allen Conde, brother mi dáadáa ní gbogbo China, bá ń kíyàwó, bá ń kí àwọn family. Bàbá mi Sulaiman, the man only removed my picture with his own after the mother died, I believe last year. Mo rí lu bàbá yẹn rí, mo fún wọn lówó, wọ́n gbọ́wọ́ lọ́wọ́ mi, àwọn ló tún fún mi. DP mi àti wọn ló ń lò. Ẹ rò pé èmi ni brother wọn kékeré tí wọ́n bí síta. Mo love yín gan, ṣé gan ni bàbá mi Sulaiman, A picture we took together like 3 years ago. That is apart from that, mama won ku, the love you all have for me, I can't buy it anywhere, àdẹ̀ní ṣìṣe, àní ṣìṣọ. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá wá ń bínú sí wa pé, kí ló dé? Ẹ má bínú sí wa, ẹ gbà wá bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo kí Masbi, ORILEEDE, only you need a robot from Elon Musk to make you coffee in the house. Irọ́ mo fẹ́ robot o, kí máa lọ sùn, kí robot kó máa lọ gbá mi létí. Those things could be scary, Joke apart now, You have those kind of machine in the house. You are sleeping with your wife, and the robot go and open the door. Kí ló máa ṣe fún robot? Àti ní padànù ni. Mo kí Mr. Bakari, ìyá mi Dúpẹ́ Agboola ní, I'm sending you big hug. Thank you so much. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún lọ wọ àwọn olówó níbẹ̀. Ká má fojú pa ẹnì kankan rẹ̀ torí everybody is important, even on the Twitter. Mo kí ẹjàre Ògúnmọ́lá Abíọ́dún rather. Mo ní má wọrí, tí bá ti dé Ìbàdàn anytime, tí bá ti dé Ìbàdàn, wàá gbé mi lọ síbi láti máa lọ jàmàlà tègúnfe, àní jẹ màálù o. N gbọ́dọ̀ tún jẹ màálù nínú Áfíríkà, kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú. Mr. Bámidélé Aliu, mo kí yín dáadáa. Gani Olóyèdé, mo kí ẹ o, mo kí ẹ dáadáa. Basiro, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Côte d'Ivoire. Quite a lot of our people in Côte d'Ivoire. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Triple DRS, wọ́n ní àwọn ti kúrò ní Woolwich Koiki, àwọn ti di ọba sí Nottingham. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa ní Manchester, Newcastle. Mo kí ní àǹtí mi kan Newcastle lọ́wọ́. Àwọn ọlọ́mọ máa ń ro ọbẹ̀ tá máa ń send video sí mi. She's a cleaner, but she's eating very well. How many cleaners ní Nàìjíríà tó lè sọ ọbẹ̀ gidi? Ìlú burúkú. So ta ló tó wà ń bẹ̀? Aziz Gbadéṣeré gbogbo Miami, gbọ́dọ̀ dá Amẹ́ríkà lọ́dún yìí. Mass B, brother mi dáadáa, èmi àti Mass B, I'm going to appear on Mass B TV, before I come back. So watch out for Mass B TV with Koikimedia. Mo kí Aziz Shakiru, mo kí ẹ brother mi dáadáa. I was listening to you on Lady K yesterday. Ṣé rí gbogbo àwọn tó máa ń jáde, tó máa ń lẹ́dí mọ́ Ismaila ni king of the media. Ọlọ́run ni anybody can set up their group. You can be your own leader. You can refuse to accept Igboho and Baba Akintoye as your leader. No problem. Ìtàkọ̀ nídìí kẹ́ ṣe fún wa ni pé ẹ má halẹ̀ mọ́ àwa Yorùbá. Àwọn Fúlàní kẹ́ lọ halẹ̀ mọ́, kẹ́ halẹ̀ mọ́ wọn, kẹ́ halẹ̀ kẹ́ ṣàkárá mọ́ wọn. Wọ́n ṣe kẹ́ máa sọ fún wa pé ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá bá gba bíbà a máa nà lẹ́gba. Ó ṣe jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ máa ń ṣẹ̀wọ̀n fún. And Yoruba land is big. Ìbí bá Gani Adams ṣe tiẹ̀ nísìn, àwọn kan náà ṣe tiwọn. Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí ṣe tiẹ̀ nísìn. Dúpẹ́ wèrè, òun àtàwọn ìjìnlẹ̀ àti Black Devil àti Wálé Àlè, wọn náà ti gba country. Stupid people. Àmọ́ bí àwọn yẹn ṣe bó ṣe ronú. Stupid people. Mo kí ẹ jàre City Boy TV, òní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. Mo kí bàbá mi Ajíbóyè. If I miss you, it's because maybe a comment new. We are not on Instagram, Mark Olórí Burúkú Bomb Bastard. Ó sì yọ mí kúrò lórí Instagram. Ó yọ account mi méjèèjì kò jẹ́ kí n stream lórí Instagram, but it's okay. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ wá tèkù dànù. Government wàá sọ tó máa ṣe fún Mark Zuckerberg àbí kí ló pe rẹ̀. So green for devil has totally shut down. Ṣé bọ̀bọ̀ máa ń pè ní green for devil yẹn àbí kinní kan? All these people, I don't know how they got hooked up with Dúpọ̀ Onítìrì. They're stupid. Ta ló tún wà níbẹ̀? Bámidélé Àlú mo kí ẹ. Balógun Ọlámídé mo kí ẹ o, brother mi. Matthew Afọláyan mo kí ẹ. Bàbá mi David Ebenezer. Ó ti pẹ́ tí mo ti gbúrò Ebenezer Obey. I know he's very elderly now. The last time I think I saw him on a plane, I haven't heard from him. I hope he's doing very well. You know, one of my dad's favorite, Ebenezer Obey. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọlátọ́ni ages gbogbo Belgium. Anytime tí bá ti ní mo fẹ́ wá Belgium ilẹ̀ mara ticket mi, I know you will do that. Mo kí bàbá wa tí ó wà ní Germany náà, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. You know, the beauty of traveling is that it gives you a lot of exposure. You know, you travel. It's just because Nigeria has not been a strong country, which it was never. That is the reason why it's not been able to, you know, you've not been able to travel so much with the Nigerian passport. One day, Ebenezer Obey visit for Wasiu. Really? Wow. That's very good. Balógun Ọlámídé mo kí yín, ta ló tún wà ń bẹ̀ lórí Koikimedia. Mo tún rí àròlé Odùduwà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí níbí báyìí. Ìyá wa Rẹ̀mí Táíwò mo kí yín. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa tún program yìí wò. Mo dẹ̀ kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa gbọ́ lórí bíi Yoruba Space TV or Oòduà TV. Make use of our videos as well. Baba Moses Olaniran, it is true, we in the diaspora are the only civilized people living and clamoring to achieve our Yoruba nation. It is going to be louder when we get it. Said Fatai Mokiyo, I am tired. Am I tired? Mokia OLAKUNLE, Mokia our grace Olushoto, you can't eat your cake and have it. Could possible. Remember in 2021, this woman came home and I thought she was joking when she came trouser and t-shirt and said she's going with rally for them. Only rally bolelo. Omo should be money now. So yes, the best musician in the country, Ebenezer Obey. You know, my dad loved him so much that my dad never joked with Ebenezer Obey until he died. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Yẹmí Fátókí mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Lagos Island. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn NURT. Gbogbo yín náà là ń pè Yorùbá Nation ọ̀nà àbáyọ. Bí Tinubu bá ṣe tán, wọ́n máa lé gbogbo yín kúrò l'Àbújá ni o. I'm sure you all know that. Anyway, Olóyinká Àjàlá mo kí yín o. Akeem Àjàní mo gbúrò Àjàní ní gbogbo Libya ó tó jọ́ mẹ́ta. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Libya, sisters wa tí ẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní everywhere. Ìyá wa Títílọlá Shaw ẹ káàárọ̀. Senior Evangelist John báwo ní France, mo kí ẹ̀yin ti Paris. Ó jọ́ mẹ́ta tí mo gbúrò Alhaji ní Paris. Mo kí sister mi náà ní Paris. Mo kí bàbá Bàkáì, Paris làwọn náà wà. You know, we are all over the place. Àwa ní Japan, àwa ní Brazil, Cuba, Jamaica. We are all over the place. And we're doing very well. Unfortunately, you know, it's just that we have not achieved our, you know, true Yoruba country. You realize that everybody will return back home. So let me wind down from here. If time permits, again. If otherwise, we will have it another day, another time. Shout out to all the Biafra. We pray for the Biafra situation is very, you know, dicey at the moment. They're going through a lot of turbulence, especially the Kano is not there, Simon Ekpa is not there, and it seems quite a lot is going on within their movement right now. We can only pray and hope that Simon Ekpa will be released. And on that note, let me take a bow. Muki brother mi Oyewusi, Muki gbogbo àwọn baálẹ̀ dáadáa tó ta ilẹ̀ wa fún àwọn àjòjì. Mo lè kí gbogbo àwọn baálẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwọn elite wa tó dákẹ́, mo fẹ́ kí àwọn kan tó lọ again kí n má lọ miss one. I hope that sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. It is important that we all talk about Yoruba country, which is a way forward. Nigeria can no longer work. There's no amount of effort to revive Nigeria. It is dead and it is gone. Okay, why is I thought I cross-posted it. So That's the difference. If I'm using the laptop, I will have sorted it out because I'm on the iPad. So I thought I cross-post it when I started the program, but for whatever reason, it's not showing. So let me deal with that before I go. If not, I can deal with my edit live video. So we're trying our best. We will continue our campaign and awareness, which is the key of the bulk of the movement. You know, Mukia related term. So everybody will be doing different things, but let us just okay. We are cross-posted now. So why am I not seeing people's comments? Okay, they count to one because sometimes I miss people's comments, and by the time I finish, I'm now Koiki there. Oh, Kiawa now, because I gotta go now. I need to have coffee. I'm already covering. I did not let you answer and going. Coffee to a nigo go me buy. Kìtì mú látàárọ̀. Kí tó máa lọ máa wá ògì àtàkàrà. Mo kí àwọn ọmọ Òdùwà náà, mo kí àwọn ìyàwó mi rẹ̀ kí gbogbo Mr. Matthew Gbemileke mo kí yín. Mo kí bàbá mi Fatai Mọ́tájò mo kí yín. You see, Àbámi Sàwọn. Mo kí Ifá Gbemileke náà as well. Mo kí yín o. Brother mi Òkìkí ẹ̀kásán ṣàlàfẹ́ lẹ́wà. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Canada o. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn ìlànà ẹjọ́ ẹ bá wa support YSDM. Ó wà very important. Ẹ dáwó síbẹ̀ because ọmọ need owó láti fi ṣe a lot as the movement continue. So I believe that is how far I can go this morning. Please, when you come across my audio, help me to share it. Share my videos, just like you do share Pastor Jerry's video as well, and all others as well. Thank you very much for being part of the program this Saturday morning. I hope we haven't taken much of your time, and I hope we've learned something that Yoruba should never be beggars. But we are beggars, and we can only stop to be beggars when we have our own independent country. To all the quiet, silent listeners, they will never comment. They are underneath the program. They are watching. I'll appreciate you so much. And I don't take anybody for granted, even though we cannot see you. But I know some of you reach out to me behind the scene and say, Mr. Koiki, thank you for the much of what you're doing. Yes, Nigeria. All you need is just 120 naira. It's 10 naira per month. So to make it easy for you, 120. If you have more than that, it's fine. Any diaspora, ni US is $10 every month. Awatawa ni UK, £10. Aintewa ni Europe, €10. Aintewa ni Canada, 10 Canadian. Aintewa ni Benin Republic, 10 whatever the money in Benin. 10 whatever the money in Sierra Leone. 10 whatever the money in Libya. Elisheni Naira, because I know most of you in Libya, you get paid back home in Naira. I don't know how that works. Wherever you are around the world, contributing towards the movement is also our legitimate right that we are doing the needful. No politician is going to give us 1 billion naira, 100 million. They won't give you that kind of money because your agenda is different from their own agenda. So we have to be the contributor to support the movement. We support it from the spiritual side, we support it from the financial side, we support it from all our strength. And that is very, very important. So we are very, very important that we get it. I know we have a lot on our tables, especially the diaspora. Most of our mothers are not working. Our pension or not. Car insurance, mortgage, this and that, but let us continue to help the movement. That is the only way, the movement can move forward. Especially this year is a very important year to ask, demand our quest. We are not burning anywhere down, but we are coming out to demand our rights. And that is how far I can take us this morning. Shout out from Mother Africa. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorstep. To all the Koikimedia team that are working back to back, we will continue to equip them based on the support from our followers and Your expectation from us will continue to be high. High standard on self-determination. Bye for now.